you say, man? It's tough being at the top, huh? I couldn't agree with you more. Jealous-hearted motherfucker. Never paid a fuck with me, nigga. Never. Super solid from day one. Never put myself in a compromised position. I'm a chess player. If I did, I'd just shoot my way out. First born to my mama. I come from the place where you promised. Die before your 21st. You'll be surprised what's underneath the earth. Dug dirt, I put bones there. All my enemies is gone now. I can't sleep through the cold sweat. Flashbacks, I'm a known threat. God-fearing, yet I'm evil though. I think deep, I believe in ghosts. Ever felt the hand of a dead body? You know why I took my gun and headshot him. War started over dope cuts. I put what I live by on both nuts. It's either him or me, so I say fuck dude. I look him in his eyes and say fuck you. I've been running this shit so long, I had always like fuck you. Niggas been throwing rocks at the throne. I'ma reach out and touch you. I ain't gotta put no money on your dome. Nigga, fuck you.
Shut up.
Everything you stand for. Oh, bitch, pussy nigga, fuck you.
Whoa.
I live like I spit it.
Yeah.
Raised by the wolves, so my mentality is get it. A life on the street takes commitment. The power that you gain gets addictive. The money being made gets you bitches. A real nigga play the game like it's fitness. A weak nigga facing time go to stitching. Plotting on his whole team cause he ain't wanna listen. If it was all good just a week ago, take your motherfucking charge, just your key and dope. They all wanna eat, gotta feed folk. Took an oath on the streets called the G-Code. That's what we live by, to die for it. I got homies standing firm doing time for it. We are 5K1 skunk killers. Downward departed, but what's that nigga? Fuck that nigga.
I've been running this shit so long. All you niggas been throwing rocks at the throne. Yeah. It feels good to be back. Turn up.
They jealous of me cause my shine bright.
Talk to him.
Grind strong cause my mind right.
Whoa.
A gun loaded up with both clips.
Bang, bang, nigga.
Jump out on me wrong and meet the folk.
Let's go.
No shit. This is music you can drive by.
G's the only code that we abide by.
Blunt burning in the ashtray. Playing baggy games and let your ass shake. Niggas wearing tight pants and high heels. Claiming another nigga hood that is not real. I am still the hardest nigga being heard.
Fucking claiming he real when he ain't keep his word.
He ain't fooling me, my nigga. He is just a nerd.
Nothing but a rap tune.
He ain't seen a bird's word.
I talk that shit that I can back. Cause that's my boxing game. I'm in a bag, ho.
Talk that big six pack of double blank. You in trouble ain't just another saint. Fuck 'em.
We about to turn up one time, man. I want to appreciate y'all pulling up on the kid. Oh man, hey. They might put this one in the history books. They might put this one in the history books. Feel good to be back. Big Chief. Legendary Top Cat. Turn up.
So gifted. I'm the type that's gon' go get it. No kidding. Breaking down the switch in front of your feelings. Sitting on the steps feeling no feelings. Last night it was a cold chillin'.
Gotta keep the devil in his hole, nigga.
But you know how it go, nigga. I'm front line every time it's on, nigga. 100 pro flow. Running shoe pro. Pro 58 drop. Playing bulletproof soul. Every few shows I just buy some new gold. Circle got smaller.
Everybody can't go. Circle got smaller. Everybody can't go. Yeah. 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 One time for the one time. Whoa. Crush the legend in this motherfucker. All work, easy work. OG done a grant. Cheryl not to wait. Big Chief. Take out Tyson right behind him. I see your family. Berto in the building. What up, Bert? Bronze Flat Power King in his bitch. Vaughn and Digital, I see you. Let's go. Rolo Solo Dolo in this motherfucker. Rolo Solo Folo Molo and a motherfucking polo. Wallace Carey in the building. I'm born here. What up, though, family? Hey, man, double salute to I'm born here, man. I got to meet the king this weekend, man. Pulled up, came all the way from Virginia, man. I got a video dropping with him on it, too. Turn up. Appreciate the love, big homie, in a real way. B1 for life. What up, though? Queen Ottawa. What up with it? Unk in the building. What up, Cat? Knowledge Seeker. Brother Lawrence in the building. What up, OG? Chauncey Mo Nighthawk in there, ho. Asai Ali in here. Sleep Dog. What up, though? Sleep Jack in his bitch. Emily Wild Hawk in here. He say had to go back in your archive to get some quality bills for the last. Yeah, it's been hard out here, man. You know, it's been hard out here. I'm gonna tell you something though. After y'all hear this bill, y'all probably don't listen to no more of these niggas no more. I'm telling you. This bill about to expose niggas scholarship, okay? You about to see all the niggas that's been around here pump faking. You know, all the niggas that been acting like they got some information. You know what I'm saying? Rule for real niggas right here. I'll let your boy. Let me go. Ohio player there. Queen, what up, though, Queen? Yeah, turn up one time, man. Queen and them pulled up in Dallas, man, this weekend, man. It was good to be around the family in a real way. Crystal in the building. What up, Crystal? How you feeling? Good morning, love. Fred 9455 in the high. You better believe it, big Ork in here, ho. I see you, family. Turn up. When the motherfucking beat drop. Kenyatta Ali, I see you. Home of the Brave in the building. Michael Kelly. Whatever man in the building. Ohio. Y'all Ohio niggas getting deep in here, huh? Ohio player right behind him. He say burning the blunt at the Mayan ruins in a real way. And we gonna get to do that for real if y'all coming with us to Mexico. If y'all coming with us to Mexico, we gonna burn some blunts at the Mayan ruins for real. Let me cut these tunes, goddamn. Let's go ahead on it and get into some real information. You know what I'm saying? They gonna get into some real information. Cherokee, what up, though? Cherry Street in the building. Let me quit fucking with her. I don't know if she from Cherry Street for real. I just be fucking with her. I be fucking with her. Yeah, man. So y'all see the title, Homie, the Making of African American series, man. We've been rocking out. I don't know if y'all been keeping up. If you I feel like you should, because you don't get paid to think, you get paid to know. And we gonna line the finals up, goddamn. We gotta get these finals done this week, because we need to start a whole new tournament. All right. We need to start a whole new tournament, so we gotta get the finals done this week. We are going to Cancun, Mexico in April. I'm letting y'all know right now. Getting the website and all of this shit that took care of, and all the information to be on there, more information. So look forward to that, man. Probably like the next week or two. You feel me? Or to have that whole little situation set up and organized or whatever. So we gonna go and tap in, man. The Making of African American. All right, hold on. Let me set my screen, goddamn. Oh, we gonna talk about it. You know what I'm saying? We gonna put a lot of shit to bed today, goddamn. We're gonna put a lot of this bullshit to bed today. All right. Hold on, give me 2 seconds. How y'all feeling out there today? Is y'all enjoy y'all Labor Day? Whoa. You know, when we do it, it's gonna look something like this. All right. So y'all see the title, The Making of African American. The last time we came, we left off, right? We left off on Anthony Benzetti, and we closed out on him and the fact that he was teaching, we're gonna call them black right now, little black children how to read, right? Through this society that was called the Society of Friends. Now, this Society of Friends was an international group. This was an international secret society. All right, no spook shit. Cause we gonna get to the bottom of this shit. Something happened, and we gonna get to the bottom of it. It was a secret. It was an international organization. We gotta understand, even when the ACL, the ACS, the American Colonization Society, started pushing their play to go over to create Liberia. Remember, they got the idea from the Society of Friends in London, who went over and created Sierra Leone. We gotta understand this shit is an international enterprise that's taking place right now. All right, and so when we left out, Anthony Bizzetti was a Huguenot. All right, he was from a bloodline that was from a more powerful organization that was international. So that's what we're gonna deal with today, the making of an African American. Man, I'm glad y'all locked in, homie. You know, all that other shit, that other shit, bro, that shit don't get no play. Where your information at? Fuck all the other shit. Where your information, nigga? 2020, nigga. The Great Awakening. Now, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, homie, I'm doing a little book on this shit. I got so much information on this shit, I'm gonna do a book on it. It's gonna be a small book though, but all that other shit that's getting pushed, this is what happened. We need to be dealing with what happened. What the fuck happened? See, niggas can guess and niggas can generalize shit and put everybody in one boat, but what happened? And when you ask that question, a lot of motherfuckers can't answer it. That's why when the Pan-Africans be running up on niggas and shit, niggas can't get off the motherfucking scrimmage line. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't know what happened. Because to ask the type of question that these niggas are getting stuck on, how did this happen? What happened? All right? And the question is so motherfucking hard that when you find out the answer to the question is gonna be in what really happened in this motherfucker. All right? Fuck all the pump faking, nigga. Either you know or you don't. Get your ass to the back of the line. Now we can start this motherfucker at 325 at the Council of Nicaea. Okay? When you had Alexander and you had Arius, they were beefing with each other over doctrine. So at the time you had Emperor Constantine, right? You had the Byzantine Empire, and you had the Orthodox. So 325, they call this council, and in here they are discussing the divinity of Jesus and the nature of the Trinity. Now you had Arius and them, they was popping their shit. They say, I mean, we don't know nothing about all that. And so the Trinity, you know, these motherfuckers putting down the Trinity. And the divinity of Jesus, whether Jesus is gonna be equivalent to God or where is he gonna be man. This is where this conversation happened. We dealing with real history now. What the fuck happened? So everybody then signed the paperwork, but goddamn Arius got outvoted. Their situation ended up going underground. You will see the Jews later pick it up. All right. And so then we're gonna come down into 1517. 1517 in Wittenberg, Germany, Martin Luther tagged 95 theses to the front door of the church and launched what we known as the Protestant Reformation. The Reformation spread throughout Europe as thinkers such as Luther and John Calvin, a Frenchman, influenced people to break their ties to the Roman Catholic Church and embrace new manners of Christian worship that focused on the certain importance of biblical texts and personal relations with God. Calvin was especially important in France, where his followers, drawing primarily from the middle class and skilled artisans came to be called the Huguenots. Let me run that back, right? Calvin was especially important in France, where his followers, drawn primarily from the middle class and skilled artisans, came to be called Huguenots or Huguenots, right? Huguenots, they interchangeable. Violence soon followed in France. So Calvin, coming from a wealthy family himself, John Calvin, coming from a wealthy family himself, we know what Martin Luther brought to the game. All right, you get the state school and all of that shit there. All that shit get ran in one package, nigga. You sit your ass down and nigga, you look at the teacher in the center of the motherfucking room. No different than church. Church and school, they sit all of the same, right? And so now they banging against the Catholic Church. Motherfuckers can't read Catholic Church out there handling them and shit. So they start this movement called the Reformation. Now I want to tell y'all something, homie. They gonna start it off right here, 1517. But this movement was going on before then. I don't got enough time to go into all of that, but we'll do it one day. How y'all feeling out there? Make sure y'all keep the likes up and shit too, family. This some real shit. Just wait till when we done. Wait until we done. Violence soon followed in France. The wars of religion between Catholics and Huguenots raged for more than 30 years and included the most infamous massacre in Protestants in European history. The slaughter of 1,000 Huguenots in Paris at Bartholomew's Day, August 23rd. All right, now, King Henry had a wedding. And these motherfuckers knew all them niggas was gonna be at the wedding. They came up there and slaughtered their ass, right? So they had a 30-year war. They beefing, going back and forth, right? And so they end up signing the Edict of Nantes, right? With the result of mandatory conversion to Catholicism or explosions of Huguenots from France upon threats of death and confiscation of property. Although they had been some migrated the Huguenots from France during the prior troubled times, the decade after the revocation of Edict of Nantes resulted in the immigration of an estimated 400,000 diaspora of the 1.5 million Huguenots in France at the time. They were primarily the skilled. Listen to me, homie, because John Calvin was important because his followers were who? The middle class that was drawn from skilled artisans, these people with different skills of masonry, all type of shit, right? Now watch this here. Now you got 400,000 motherfuckers of the Huguenots, 1.5 Huguenots in France at the time. They were primarily what? Skilled craftsmen, professionals, and businessmen of their times and community. So you ain't dealing with no small fry nigga. You dealing with the motherfuckers who are building the science to building nations, right? They aid the families fled to the Protestant tolerant countries of Switzerland, Holland, England, and Germany. Listen to where they going, right? So now they got put out, right? They just signed the Edict of Nantes, which overturned the previous one, which said, okay, they cool, they can chill here, you know what I'm saying? And now his family member come along and he say, fuck it, let's get these niggas out of here. So boom, these niggas end up dipping off. Now something else took place, right? Because they had to hide their identities. Now we're gonna go through the migration. Some of the places they went was Switzerland, Parades of Russia, Scandinavia, London, the Swiss. Now here in Switzerland was obvious a destination of choice for many refugees with religious language and familiar connections to the French-speaking Protestant already residing in Geneva, Neuchâtel. The skilled immigrants. Listen, the skilled immigrants provided an emphasis to the Swiss industry to include watchmaking. This is where you get your Swiss watches and all this type of shit here. Come from these people called the Huguenots. These are the skilled middle-class people who reformed against the Catholic Church, right? Reformed against the Catholic Church and built their own movement. Now, they've been exiled out of France, and now they starting to migrate to different places around the world. Let's walk this shit down real quick. All right. to include watchmaking and also produce. They also produce military families with the names like Banquet, Hadman, the Prevost that would play a part in North America during the French and Indian War and later during the American Revolution. Okay. But the noticeable impact of the Huguenot immigrants by far was the state of Brunberg, Croatia. They were granted numerous privileges to the skilled French refugees that were settled in Croatia, desperately needing skilled farmers, artisans to replace the devastation of both the landscape and general population in the wake of the 30-year war. Russia also gained a small number of Huguenot refugees, mainly 600 families settled in St. Petersburg and Moscow. Scandinavia, furthermore, north in Scandinavia, French refugees settled in Sweden, leaving a legacy of Huguenot names like Hunro and the Laval industry dynasty. The refugees' name intermingled among the existing names of Walloons. Now we got to watch the Walloons. This is very important because the Dutch that came to New York were the Walloons. Okay, now we'll see them come in 1619, get New York 1626, but they came before then. Okay, they came before then. That's how Charlemagne ended up falling out with the Iroquois in Canada. All right, they ended up murdering 4 Iroquois chiefs on their way back. On their way back, they were showing them the land and shit, and on their way back, they were approached by a group of Iroquois. Now, and they ended up having a showdown. This was in 1606. You know what I'm saying? 1606. All right. Now, now the refugees intermingle among the existing names of Walloons. Now, what I'm saying is that these Dutch people that came here were Huguenots. They were Huguenots as well. All right, let's walk this shit down. America, but it was America, so they also came to America too, London, all this type of shit, right? But it was the flood of refugees of Northwest Europe that had the most extensive and direct impact on American colonies. This string can be broken sequentially into the Netherlands and eventually United Kingdoms. Walloons had already established French Protestant communities throughout Amsterdam, Delft, Groningen, and among the other Dutch cities. So that they didn't went all into the Dutch. This is what I'm telling you, homie. The Dutch that came here are the Walloon people who were Huguenots. All right? Who were Huguenots. Let's walk this shit down, nigga. I'm telling you. What's up with it, Terror? Come get my hug. How you feeling? So here's Sabir and this motherfucker. 2 birds of a feather. What up, family? Running L. Brown. That boy named after daddy. Or L. Smith in the building. What up, though? That nigga used to play quarterback in middle school. Turn up one time. Goddamn, I'm born here. Let me rinse you up, family. The OG, goddamn. Crystal say, please hit the like on your way in the real way. But it was the flood of the refugees in Northwest Europe that was the most extent and direct impact on the American colonies. The string can be broken. Okay, we went through that. All right. Due to the relative lack of industry of jobs in Scotland as compared to England, mostly rural Wales received even few refugees, with little evidence of lasting impact. But the Scots and Welsh sons or daughters would eventually marry into the French Protestant families. Listen, so you're going to have these Scots, right? Now, when we get into the Scottish history, homie, they had different clans in the Scottish history too, right? And these different clans were families who had Huguenot blood, okay? And so when you get down here, like my people and them, situation they got caught up in had Irish on 2 sides of my family. All right. Now, when we see all of the treaties being signed, when we get down to the 1770s, everything after the Constitution, when we see these treaties being signed, they are signed by mixed race people who come from Scottish backgrounds. All right, when we dealing with a John Ross, the Cherokee and shit, you know what I'm saying? Irish. He even spoke with the Irish dialect. You dealing with your McIntoshes. You dealing with your Coberts out of the Chickasaw. You dealing with your McGilveries out of the Creeks and shit. You know what I'm saying? Now we got now watch this here. Now watch what they say. Now but Scots and Welsh sons and daughters would eventually marry into French Protestant families as they migrated into America. Later, some of the British raised descendants of the French refugees would come to play. Listen, later, some of the British raised descendants of the French refugees would come to play a notable part in the American Revolution. I want y'all to hold that because this is very important. The inspiration eventually created a Protestant refuge, but instead under royal flags bearing the fleur-de-lis. It was primarily under the superimposed crosses of St. George and St. Andrews that the Huguenot refugees successfully settled throughout North America. Now watch this here. Instead, under the flags of royal flags bearing the fleur-de-lis, they came with the crosses. All right, they came with the Christian crosses. So your Pilgrims, all this here, your Spanish, all of this shit here will come in Huguenot blood. And you had kings in England who were granting these people land on American land. Let's walk this shit down real quick. Okay. You see it in the middle. They go to cross right there. Let me see if I can blow it up. They go to cross right there. In the cross, you got the fleur-de-lis. You got the fleur-de-lis coming out right here. You got four fleur-de-lis in the cross. Let's walk this shit down, nigga. The Huguenots were descendants of Muslims in Europe. Why is this important? Now, if we go back to the fall of Rome, and we see the emerge of Islam in the world, going through the House of Wisdom, all these different ages and stages of Islam. When we break it down, the Jews in Islam have similarities. Now, we have to remember they're all Abrahamic religions. They're all being ran by the Catholic Church today. Now they'll break it down in scripture and literature and tell you that these people are the same. If you know the story, you know the story. Isaac and Rebecca had Genesis 25:21, and then we go to Genesis 32. Nigga changed his name to Israel. All this shit here. They had 12 kids. All this here. We know the story, right? But Isaac had a brother named Ishmael, and they said that's who the Arabs come from or whatever. So I just want to show that they tell us that they all the same. You know what I'm saying? But the Huguenots were descendants of Muslims in Europe. Huguenot history, description, fate in Europe. Now remember, they came as Christians, different denominations. Huguenot description, fate in Europe was their occupations and skills. We're coming back over these occupations and skills again, etc., are so integrally related to Muslims. It is well known that before the fall of Muslim emirates and wilayates at Sicily and Spain, Muslims had to use two names. The Muslims had to use two names. Well, one of them was to hide their Muslim origin when passing through doing business with other people in enemy areas. All right. Now we know that Muslims in Spain and other parts of Europe are known in many denominations: Moors, Moriscos, religionaries, Mujars, crypto-Muslims, conversos, and Huguenots, right? And so when you're dealing with this crypto shit, right, you got crypto-Muslim, crypto-Jews, you know what I'm saying? You see, when you fucking with this, when you create something, the rules don't apply to you when you got your own shit. They don't apply to you. And so these motherfuckers can go interchangeable if they want to. They could be a Muslim today and be a Christian tomorrow. A lot of these people had to convert over when they were conquered. They had to either convert or they'll be put in slavery, exiled. And so a lot of times they'll convert. When we get the story of Benedict the Moor, right? Benedict the Moor, motherfucking Jesuit, Franciscans, who was a Moor. His people them was from Africa. People them was from Africa, and they end up convert over to Catholicism. They were Muslims first. They converted over to Catholicism. We have to understand that the Moors went into West Africa. When you had the 1452, right, the Dum Diversa, these were black people. What you failing to understand is the Portuguese that went in, What black people? In 1620, when the famous Mayflower arrived in Plymouth, there were French people on board. Okay, when the Mayflower landed in Plymouth, there were French people on board. As early as 1662, many of the people of La Rochelle sent a pension to the governor of Massachusetts asking to settle there and live with the English. Their reception was friendly. 150 families are estimated to have settled and soon anglicized their names. Okay, and so you had these French people coming. Now remember, they're in exile right now, and so they asked, can they come and settle in the British? Can they come and settle in the British colonies? Now, what's important about this here, what we have to understand that when these people separated, they went into they dispersed and went into these different areas. There was a connection and a network and a connection taking place. So when they asked, can they come live with the British? Now they French, but they want to go live with the British. Now we have to understand that the British that came were Huguenots. These French that asked the British to come live with them were Huguenots. We got. I just want to keep this shit. You know what I'm saying? That makes sure we on the same page here, right? The Dutch, the Swiss, all of that shit, same Huguenot. Then we gotta understand they banging this shit. This is a line. This is where your bloodlines and all this type of shit come from. We finna walk this shit down. All right. And so they soon anglicized their names. Soon anglicized their name after revocation of the Edict of Nantes, and the number of refugees increased. They came either directly from France or through Holland or England, and the Huguenots proved to be very adaptable and faithful to their new homeland. Soon stood out and played a role in the future of America. So the Huguenots played a role in the future of America. I want y'all to understand something too. When Spain got to Florida, the French Huguenots had already been there. The French Huguenots had already been there. And they left. When they came back, Spain was there. They went over and built their own fort. So when we start seeing these star forts and shit pop up, we got to start looking at these French. We got to start looking at these. Now, Christians. Now, remember that when the Franciscans came, the Franciscans had a war with the Yamasi. All right, now we got Benedict the Moor, who was an African, converted over to Catholicism, and they ain't running shit. They have a full-blown war. Now I want to understand when they got here and they dealt with the Tamiqua people. They the French wrote down descriptions of them and let them know what these people look like. Okay, they all was black folk. The niggas that pulled over black, and the niggas that was here was black. Now, they coming through these different colonies. They walk this shit down. Florida, the Tamiqua were a group of indigenous people that lived in modern-day Florida, south of Georgia. This group of Native American people have evidence of dating between 1100 AD and 1300 AD. More than 2 centuries later, in 1562, Huguenot explorer John Rabot arrived from France and landed in Tamiqua land near Taliban Island. The Frenchmen created the colonial settlement Fort Caroline on the St. Johns River in South Carolina. This is going to end up being a very, very important role in American history. In their pursuit to prosperity and religious tolerance, the Huguenots' identity evolved. The Huguenots' identity evolved from French religion refugees to that of white South Carolina. Okay? So if they evolved to white South Carolina, they were black before they started evolving. This is gonna be really important. I want y'all to keep up, homie, because we haven't even got started yet. It's gonna be a lot of information in this bill, man. Y'all might need to take something out to write something down with, man. Bang the goddamn like button, bang the cash out. We haven't even got started. What we on slide 4 or 5? We about to go in, nigga. I'm telling you, homie. I got one magic bullet. That magic bullet that hit JFK now. This one motherfucker gonna hit 3 motherfuckers. I ain't got but one shot in this bitch, nigga. When I pull off, I don't expect nobody to be falling behind me, telling me I'm coming to get my man. In their pursuit of prosperity and religious tolerance, the Huguenots' identity evolved from French religious refugees to that of white South Carolinas. Upon arriving in the colonies in 1680, 1690, the Huguenot identity was based on several common factors: the French language, the Calvinist religion, and their French heritage. As the immigrant group began to build their new lives in Carolina, these identity factors began to disappear. Why did they disappear? Because they didn't come there trying to change nothing. They end up evolving into these different religions that was practiced there, whether it was Christianity, now we got to remember this: South Carolina was a stronghold of the Jews. Okay, now they had that Muslim influence there. When you look at the South Carolina flag, nigga, it's a motherfucking Muslim flag. I probably should have pulled it up, but when you look on there, it's a crescent moon on the motherfucker, and it has a tree on it. The tree is a symbol that is used by the Huguenots, and it was also used by the Iroquois, who became real good friends with the Huguenots. We got to remember the Iroquois came from the French. Huh? Who was up there playing? Nigga started this slave war, having these slave raiders run in. Nigga, this is where it started at. Let's walk this shit down, nigga. It's gonna be I know. I don't want to take y'all too fast. But y'all gonna have to walk with me today, goddamn. Up on arrival in the county 1680, the Huguenots. Okay. Another shift in the Huguenot identity took place within the third generation when they were faced with slave uprisings in 1739. 1739. This is the Stono Rebellion Wars. Now, when the situation of the Yamasee War, when this took place, guess who this was? This was the Huguenots. All of your land grabs here were the Huguenots. Most of your treaties was signed by motherfucking Huguenots. When they came to the colonies, they settled in specific places. They didn't accidentally end up in these places that they came to. Okay? This is motherfuckers who was doing their homework on you niggas already. All of this here was a strategic plan. It was all planned the fuck out. Ain't nobody come over here on accident. Ain't nobody come looking for you niggas on accident. And when they pulled up, what I want you to understand, when motherfuckers first pulled up, it was niggas. So when the white boys came, what I kept telling y'all, the white boys were just following the niggas. Before the First Great Awakening, most of the colonies, guess what? They were Muslims. These people who originally were Muslims, all this great artistry and these skills and this masonry and all this shit here, you had to be a Muslim to have this information. And so when they tell you that they left their ways and started coming into the they say they left their ways and started coming into the ways of the motherfucking Muslims. All right, let's walk this shit down. Goddamn, let me get y'all out of here. The Jews arrived in the British colonies of Carolina in the early days of the European settlement. A new outpost in the mercantile traffic of Atlantic Basin, Carolina offered economic opportunities and a degree of religious tolerance remarkable for the time. The colony fundamental constitutions of 1669, drafted by philosopher and physician John Locke, was a secretary to one of the 8 largest proprietors, granted freedom of worship to Jews, heathen, and descendants of the purity of the Christian religion. Although colonial senator endorsed the provision, British Charleston became known as a place where people of faith, except Catholics, could do business and practice their religion without interfering. The Jews ran one of the biggest banks in the world from South Carolina, nigga. You would never get that in history. South Carolina was a stronghold of the Jews. What was crazy about this, though, these Jews had Muslim backgrounds. These Jews had Muslim backgrounds. What else took place in South Carolina? You got the 1740 Negro Act, and what else you end up getting? You get the Sundry Act. I asked y'all the other day, why do South Carolina have all of this Moorish history? Nigga ain't never think to look up at the motherfucking flag and see that the South Carolina flag is a motherfucking Moorish flag, nigga. It's a Muslim flag. What they say, the Muslims end up settling in with the people in the area, and they became white South Carolinians. The Colony Fundamental Constitution, 1669. Okay, in 1669, Jews in Charleston allied with the French Protestants to safeguard their rights to trade. Okay, they allied with the French Protestants to safeguard their rights to trade. And the next year, to secure citizenship, most of the Carolinians, first Jews, settlers, traced their roots to Spain or Portugal. Now, at the No Grandma Killer tour, somebody asked the question, man. I gave a long answer and my mic ended up going out. But this is what I was going to touch on. Most of the first Jewish settlers traced their roots back to Spain and Portugal. Okay? This is Huguenot territory, nigga. Expelled during the Inquisitions of the end of the 15th century, Sephardim deprived around the globe and established themselves as capitals and port cities. Let me run this back. I want y'all to hear this shit. Sephardim Jews dispersed around the globe and established themselves in capitals and port cities in Northern Europe, the Mediterranean, the West Indies. In 1749, Charleston Jewish community chartered Kahal Kadash Bet Elohim, one of the first 5 Jewish congregations in America, like her sister synagogues in New York, Newport, Savannah, Philadelphia. Bet Elohim and Sephardi is the ritual practice of Charleston congregation that remains so for 2 generations after the Revolutionary War. Though by then the majority of South Carolina Jews were Ashkenazi, hailing from Central Eastern Europe. The Jews you know now are Ashkenazi. Before then, they were Sephardi. South Carolina, like I said, the Jews' stronghold, one of the most powerful places in the world at that time was South Carolina. Why? Because it was a port city, nigga. So they came in like this here, okay? For the Moorish brothers. They came in as Moors. We see them switch over to French, coming through the Reform. We see them as Jews. Motherfuckers came from over. So they the Dutch, they the French, they your Spaniards, they your British. All praise to the ancestors. Bang the like button, bang the goddamn cash app, goddamn. Let me check on y'all real quick. Let me do this, then I'm gonna check on y'all. When Columbia became the state capital in 1786, 7 Jewish men from Charleston were among the first to buy town lots. Okay. Following the Revolutionary War, South Carolina Jewish population surged. When Columbia became the state capital in 1786, 7 Jewish men from Charleston were among the first to buy town lots. Jews in Georgetown, Belfort, and Camden belonged to business and civic elites. By 1800, Charleston was home to the largest, wealthiest, and most cultured Jewish community in North America. Did I just tell y'all this was the goddamn stronghold? It said Charleston was home to the largest, wealthiest, and most cultured Jewish community in North America. Upwards of 500 individuals, or 1/5 of all Jews in the nation. Carolina Jews pursued the same goal as their white neighbors. Huh? Hold on. Carolina Jews supported the same goal as their white neighbors. Huh? So these niggas that came in were already black. I want to show you, I want to point something out too. See, because you niggas can't find the motherfucking Jews, and you can't find the Moors no more. All you niggas running around here telling us that we all Hebrews, We all Jews. We all motherfucking Moors, nigga. Nigga, we in America. The motherfucking Jews and the Moors, nigga, the British, the Dutch, and all you other niggas came over here. All right? So we're going to cut that Moors over here in America shit out. We're going to cut that Jews shit out, right? Because you niggas got a date on when y'all actually got to this motherfucker. And I'm going to do you one better. You've been running around telling everybody you're black, and all this shit here. Well, the first Jews that showed up, the first Moors that showed up, you were right. You were absolutely correct, brother. They were black. But you motherfuckers went from over here. And the fact that when y'all pulled up, and I used the Tamukwa because these are the first encounters that they had, the outside forces had with motherfuckers over here. All right? And when they pulled up, they documented them in history as being black folks as well. All right? Y'all take that shit back over the water. Take that shit back over the water. Carolina Jews pursued the same goals as their white neighbors. Those who could afford it owned slaves. The affluent lived in finely furnished houses and traveled abroad. Many Ashkenazim adopted traditional Sephardi practices and assumed it as an aristocratic view of themselves earliest to arrive. Let's go and heat this bitch up. All right. So now we got these Huguenots that left, got expelled out of France. Now they populated the globe. They went into South Africa and became the Boers. That's where you get your African from. They came the Boers, took over the gold and the diamond mines and all this type of shit down there, right? And they've been having a hold on it since. They recently just started kicking their ass out recently. You know what I'm saying? But these motherfuckers went over, they end up robbing every trade route, international trade routes. So we ain't all of that. The days of the motherfuckers just got lucky and a nigga tripped over a bag of gold. That shit out the window. And a lot of you niggas been around here pumping false ass history, nigga, because the Moors and the Jews. That's why you can't find them niggas no more. You can't find the Moors and the Jews no motherfucking more because they came over here, nigga. They came here and now, nigga, they are your ass. They're Americans now, nigga. They own a birthright to this motherfucking land now, nigga. That's what they tell you. Through their U.S. Constitution. How did they get that U.S. Constitution, nigga? We about to talk about it. Fuck around with these niggas. Nigga, I'm just now warming up, nigga. I'm about to take y'all through that. We gonna get through the whole thing, nigga. It's 35 slides, nigga. It's gonna get greater later, all right? I'm about to tell you something you probably ain't never heard before right now, too, though. Let me check on y'all. Who in the motherfucking building? Cat and the Feds in it, hoe. What up, though? Kiowa, my nigga. What up, Kiowa? Mr. Evans in this bitch. Rude Evo. Little red bone and a red thong. 7 guard in that hoe. In the real way, goddamn. Macadon 1 in this bitch. Dead game boxing, I see. I'm Aries Queen. What's up, sweetheart? Come give me a hug. Miss Nita. What up, though? LaDon Rivers in this hoe. And so we get here now. All of these people then populated all these cities. The Jews then populated all of the port cities. Okay, the Jews populated all these port cities. You got the Dutch. You got these Huguenots. Went under Dutch name, Swiss name. They went into London, took over England. All right. Came here, created the 13 colonies. All Huguenots. Oh, we're going to talk about it, nigga. 1744, the date of the Iroquois chiefs, Conasatago addressed a treaty conference between the American colonists and the Six Nation Iroquois Confederacy. Let me say this before I move on any further. All you Moors out here teaching that the Moors created the government here are a motherfucking lie. You're a motherfucking lie, right? Now I'm finna show you something. When you go in the HR House of Reds Con 331, when you go into 331, and they acknowledge the fact that they got the government from the Iroquois. Let me show y'all something. Really important, right? Now I've been running around the whole time about if the Moors created the government, tell them to show you some proof. I'm I'm about to tell y'all something that a lot of Moors, real Moors, probably know, and they don't tell y'all. See, they got more information than they share with y'all, right? Why you think they don't ever want to unite? The Moors have never looked at themselves equal as you. You a nigga to them. Bars. You a nigga to these Moors. Never wanted to motherfucking have anything to do with anything you niggas. They always was just better than you niggas. Why? Why is that? What I keep telling y'all, the Moors was with the white boys. Always have been, nigga. That's why they tell you, nigga, they walk around with constitutions in their pocket, nigga. You know, they free white people. You know what I'm saying? They went and got the Sanders Act and all this type of shit here. All of this shit here. Why? Why is this? Why? Now, what the Moors didn't tell you was that they didn't create the government. The Moors actually had the government given to them too by the motherfucking Iroquois. Why? Because the Moors were the motherfucking Huguenots. The people who they were giving this constitution to, Iroquois gave it to, were Huguenots. Now we see the Moors start interbreeding with these white Europeans, these Moriscos who are mixed people. They start breeding until they bred themselves into white people. Now they're white people. And I'm gonna tear their ass up. Hold on, I don't want to bring it out yet. I got something for you, Moors. I got something for you, niggas. The Moors and the Jews are white folk now. They always tell you, well, you had the what they tell you in the 4th century, you had the Khazarian Empire, and they converted over the nigga. It don't even matter. Cause these Jews right here were black when they showed up, and then they became what? White South Carolinians. All right, so they ain't took nothing from you, motherfuckers. Y'all gave it to them. And if you listen closely to the motherfucking Moors, if you have been listening to the Moors, nigga, they have been telling you what? That they are the custodians of the knowledge. They tell you that the white folks are the custodian. When they empire fell, they passed the information on through the sciences, through these white boys who they trusted. They tell you that, nigga, let me get some flames down there. If you niggas really been around this shit and been doing it. That's why I just be looking at you niggas crazy. I just be looking at you niggas crazy, and I'm scratching my head because I don't know if you misinforming the people on purpose, if you misinforming the people on purpose, or that you just got too much pride to say you don't know what the fuck happened. The white boys ain't took shit from you, nigga. You gave it to them because you became the white boy. And this is why the Moors don't want nothing to do with you niggas. That's why when them hoes try to pull that paperwork out on the white boy and they grab him by their neck and pull him through the window with their foot still on the gas and still in the seatbelt, white boy rip you out the seatbelt. Talking about you a Moor. Bitch, I'm the Moor now. Nigga, fuck is you talking about? In 1744, Iroquois chief Conasatago addressed a treaty conference between the American colonists and the Six Nation Iroquois Confederacy. The two groups had met in Lancaster, Pennsylvania to iron out disputes over colonial trespassing on Native American territory and the forge of an agreement whereby the Iroquois would ally with the colonists against the French. In his speech, Conasatago introduced the colonists to the federal idea that bound the disparate tribes to unity. It was a bond that was encouraged unity, especially in matters of defense, even as it is supported the independence of each tribe when it came to self-government. We talking some shit now. Here go the nigga that gave them to him. Okay? This the nigga. Conasatago is the nigga who gave them their constitution. Benjamin Franklin. See, they looked up to these Iroquois niggas. These was they big homies. We got to understand these niggas were what, 19, 20, 21, George Washington and shit. They were youngsters. These were the big homies. These niggas gave them this form of government. This shit didn't exist in Europe or none of these nations they was coming from. He gave it to them. He was the chief out of the Onondaga tribe. Lancaster Treaty, right? Now this is some information news he gave them one time, right? This was one of the speeches. See, he walked up to him and he handed an arrow to Benjamin Franklin scare ass. And then he took it out of Franklin's hand and broke it across his knee. Then he came back with 13 arrows. This why on the back of the dollar bill you had an eagle, and that bitch got what? 13 arrows in his hand. And see, these Mason niggas be out here playing with you niggas. And we're gonna talk about why. That's why I got 13 arrows in the motherfucking the eagle hand on there. And then when you talk to the Moors got a whole different story from you. See, because the Moors trying to act like they the Iroquois. No. No, the Moors, you are the white boys. That's why I told y'all, the Moor told me a couple weeks ago, white power, nigga. Yeah, I said, boy, you got your motherfucking mind. Nigga told me white power. Conor Satago say, we have one thing to further say, and that is we heartily recommend union and good agreement between you and our brethren. Never disagree, but preserve a strict friendship for one another, and thereby you as well will become the stronger or wise forefathers. Establish a union and amenity between the 5 nations. He's talking about the Iroquois. They were weak, he say, until they came together with their strengths, and that's what made them wise and powerful. This made us unformidable. This has given us great weight and authority with our neighboring nations. We are a powerful confederacy, and by observing the same methods of wise forefathers have taken, you will acquire fresh strength and power. Therefore, whatever befalls you, never fall out with one another. And goddamn nigga, you know what? We can take this shit with us in our community. That was some powerful words he gave them, right? And he was murdered shortly after taking bribes that ceded land. See, he was one of the first niggas that started off with getting he hold the land. Huh? It was many of this type of niggas that came. Always had a relationship with these white boys. What we say, when you go in there and close the door with these white boys, nigga, when you come out, y'all better murder this nigga. Cause he finna take everything you got. See, Martin Luther King came and he got that civil rights shit passed, nigga. That was a land grab too. You ain't got no more black businesses, no more black towns, no more colleges created, no more nothing. Huh? Martin Luther King was his generation of the treaty signers. So we get into the forming of the Constitution, right? And so he get him that game. Hey, y'all need to unite. All y'all together, y'all need to unite. The Stoner Wars, they came out there trying to, the Yamasee War, these Huguenots, like I said, they went in and took over port cities. So we were banging, and they had created this form of trade with us, and they started putting the Yamasee in debt. Nigga, like, damn, nigga, well, how the fuck I owe you this? And the numbers saying, nigga, I done brought all it back, nigga, and I owe you. And so they create these systems, and they start trying to put motherfuckers in indentured servitude. Now, they came out there one day asking for some license and shit for the Yamasee that was hunting. And they went back and murdered all the white boys at the whole camp. You know what I'm talking? Bitch, that nigga come out there talking about y'all got some paperwork to be out here hunting. Them niggas went and murdered the whole camp. That's what started the Yamasee War. Now, after that, these bills, like we had these notes today, these notes, paper money started circulating around the colonies, right? This shit started circulating because after the war, they was out of there. Really, the Cherokee and the Iroquois went and helped them. That's the only thing saved them. That's when this form of paper money and shit started floating around. And watch this shit. They walked this shit down. Elijah Boudinot was born in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, on May the 2nd, and died in Burlington, New Jersey. His grandfather Elijah was a French Huguenot who fled the country after the revocation of the Decree of Nantes. After receiving liberal arts education, Boudinot studied law at Regent Stockton of New Jersey and became distinguished in his professional years. Now, the reason why I brought him up is because, hold on, give me 2 seconds. Let me send this text. So you had the Continental Congress, which was a form of government throughout the colonies. Now, most of the presidents were Huguenots. Okay, Eliza Budanos being one. Now I brought him up because we remember Buck Wadey with the Cherokee, the Moravians, where he went to school at in Connecticut. Okay, Huguenot school in Connecticut. He ended up marrying a daughter. 1825, they changed the law. You no longer had to marry a indigenous woman to have sovereignty to the land. You can now marry a white girl, right? Buck Wadey, they changed his name to Eliza Budanos. He started pushing the Hebrew shit, the Purity, the Church of Christ and shit. They sent Roger Williams on the run. He was fucking with the Narragansett. In 1765, the Stamp Act, which imposed yet another round of taxes on the colonies to pay Britain costly war debts incurred. Conflicts with the French had inflamed opinions with universally in the colonies. In 1773, colonists had dressed up as Iroquois warriors. Colonists dressed up as Iroquois warriors before sneaking aboard a British ship and dumping tea into the Boston Harbor to protest the British East Indian Company's desire. Okay, the East Indian Company was one of the most successful companies at that time because they hijacked the trade line going to India and China. All right, they had another company called the West India Company, and this dealt with the Caribbean. This is where we start seeing the slave trade from here start going into the Caribbean. They also had a play, guess what, in West Africa. So when the Boston Tea Party happened, they ran on there and dressed up like Iroquois. Now, the reason why they dressed like the Mohawks was because they even considered themselves Mohawks. They considered themselves indigenous to the land. They had the white boys used to call themselves Mohawk River Indians. Yeah, they used to call themselves Mohawk River Indians when they were banging against the British niggas because their allies was with these Indians. L Boogie with the hoodie, what up, though? Oh, we about to go in. So this is what started what become the Revolutionary War. George Washington became the first president of this union between the 13 colonies. George Washington himself was a Huguenot. Look at your boy over here. Check your boy out. This is one of the pictures the Moors used to use to say that they gave all of this shit to the white boy. They've been telling us for years. But see, they mixed it up on you. They mixed the dope on you. They've been telling you you was the king, the father of all this science, and you gave it to the white boy. Then tell you that the white boy became your motherfucking ass. Huh? Y'all know who that is? Y'all know who that is? Let's get some flames in this hoe. Let's get some flames in this hoe, nigga. Let's get some flames in this hoe. Hey, appreciate that love, Dave. Appreciate that love, my nigga Divine, David Murphy in the real way. And lawyer determined. Appreciate that love. I walk this shit down, nigga. This is hey, a lot of these niggas finna have to stop teaching after today. A lot of these niggas finna have to stop teaching after today because you niggas don't know what happened. Who is this? Who is this? Let's deal with it. Freemasonry, which came into beginning in the 17th century, took its origins from operant Freemasonry created by medieval Masons. The movement was founded in England in 1723 when the Anderson Constitution was drawn up, which set out how it was to be run. The French Huguenot Desailly, who had been forced to flee his native country at the time of revocation and who later became a pastor in the Anglican Church. The Anglican Church. I remember true story about Pan-African brother. He told me about Big Ab Solomon starting the Anglican Church. You know what I'm saying? I just laugh, bro. You gotta play crazy sometimes. And he say, what church did Ab Jones create? I said, the Zionist church, right? He know that I know that this Big Ab ain't no motherfucking Jew. And he said, you know what? I'm not even going, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give you another chance. You know what I'm talking about? I said, this motherfucker good. He already knew what I was trying to do. This motherfucker good. All right. So this nigga ended up becoming a pastor at the Anglican church. Was one of those who helped draw up this document. Among the principles of the movement are beliefs in God and freedom religious beliefs. All right, so Deschanel, who was a Huguenot who fled after the Nantes, is credited for creating Freemasonry. Now it's about to get interesting. You know what I'm saying? It's about to get interesting. Yeah, banking, Huguenots and banking. Although most of the Huguenots who came to British shores to escape the forces of Louis arrived with few possessions and little money, there were some aristocrats and successful merchants who managed to bring significant riches. This new money was very welcome as it comes to be used to set up businesses. In contrast, the wealth owned by the English aristocrats was tied up in the lands of properties, so it could not so be easily invested. These merchants made an important contribution to setting up the Bank of England in 1690. These merchants. Now notice when we going through some of the wealthiest black people at the time, guess what? They were merchants. All you niggas in these movements, they got tied up with these white boys, huh? Guess what? What they meant the white boys at? They were merchants. Paul Cuffey, huh? Let's talk about it. Fortin, James Fortin, who hung with Big Ab Saul, went to school under Anthony Benzetti, taught him. These Quakers who came in and took over these ports and shit. And then you get some of your richest motherfucking niggas at the time, and they were motherfucking in these secret societies with these white boys, huh? And they were merchants, nigga. What they tell you? The Moors were masters of the seas, huh? That's what they always tell you. You see, the ancestors sent me to make it real clear. You know, I know a lot of motherfuckers been doing this for a long time, goddamn. And I only heard a few motherfuckers with this information. A lot of niggas been doing this shit a long time and ain't figured this shit out. The merchants made important contributions to setting up the Bank of England in 1690. Who the first governor was a Huguenot and contributed to the war against France in the last decade in the 17th century. The Huguenot talent for commerce extended to more than banking. It extended to more than banking. They were the forerunners and influenced so much of what we know today as the insurance company and the stockbroking businesses. They brought the banking, the insurance company, and the stockbroking businesses. They were merchants. They were in the sea, slave ship building. Go to Bristol. Okay, how you think Bristol was popping? Nigga, this is Huguenot shit. These are ports. They went and took over all the ports, nigga. And they started out Muslim. But see, they can go through all of the Abrahamic religions. They don't give a fuck, nigga. I'm a Christian today. I'm a Jew tomorrow, depending on who in my motherfucking face, nigga. Bitch. In 1689, the English Parliament passed the Act of Toleration, making it a haven for the persecuted for their religious beliefs everywhere. 20 years later, England united with Scotland and Wales. With shocking rapidity, Jews founded the London Stock Exchange. Almost single-handedly, listen to this here, making London the world's new financial center. Scots became the chief empire builders. Scots became, because another thing they took over was the industry, the metal industry and shit. They were great builders. Remember the Moors tell you, nigga, they were where you get your masonry. The driving force in the Industrial Revolution, as well as the intellectual bastion, thanks to the likes of David Hume, Adam Smith, Britain's most powerful financial institution, the Bank of England, was conceived by a Scot and funded by Huguenots, with Jews brokering its biggest loans. Okay? With the Jews, what they tell you all the time, the Jews funded the slave trade. See, we tired of all that generalizing ass shit, nigga. We gonna put a name and a face on this shit. Who did it? Who did it, nigga? Because a lot of these niggas ain't telling you because they work for them. But we gonna walk this shit down. Let me put this up here on the screen. Huh? Y'all know who that is? Do y'all know who that is? Huh? Y'all see, I've been gone for a little while. I've been in the lab. But I've been in that bitch, nigga, and I done came back with that motherfucker they dropped on Hiroshima, nigga. Y'all see these motherfuckers right here, nigga? You ought to have the scent of money. If you don't smell money, looking at this motherfucking picture, nigga. You know who this is? This is millionaires. Jacob Astor, Isidore Straus, and Benjamin Guggenheim. Okay? When the Titanic sank in 1912, it killed over 1,500 people, including some of the world's most wealthiest and famous. But no victim aboard the ship had more money than John Jacob Astor. He was a member of the famous Astor family, which was considered American royalty, especially in New York organized society. Okay? Here you go right here. This little Astor, one of the richest nigga in the world. Why? And if you're talking Indian history and you don't know who this nigga is, you need to check your motherfucking self. You don't know who this family is, nigga, then you need to check your motherfucking self. Because they were very instrumental in motherfucking the slave trade and a lot of other trades that was taking place. This was the first motherfucking monopoly. Alexander Hamilton was born in the West Indies and his mother was a Huguenot refugee. Alexander Hamilton was born in the West Indies and his mother was a motherfucking Huguenot refugee. Okay? David Scott III, that boy named after daddy. That nigga wanted to be just like his daddy. All right, Alexander Hamilton, his mother was a Huguenot. At 15, he wrote a brilliant essay about hurricanes on the island, which prompted the governor to send him to Columbia University in 1782. He was elected to Congress and became Secretary of Treasury. His fiscal and banking policies are credited with the saving in the impoverished country. The righteous strength of the Huguenots. Listen, the righteous strength of the Huguenots who were among the earliest settlers in Virginia who were already strong in other colonies, while be found in hundreds of families at the same time of the American Revolution. Okay, these righteous strength of the Huguenots, who were among the earliest settlers in Virginia, who had already strong in many other colonies, would be found in hundreds of families at the time of the American Revolution. They mingled with Germans and the Palatine and the Scottish Irish, who came with the work ethic of Calvinists and had origins in France. Okay, a fun fact. Warren Buffett. I just want to show y'all all of this money we talking, these banking systems and all this set up, these trades, these control of these ports. Yeah. And so when you look at a lot of the key players that they bring out to you now, they're all connections. They tell you that all of the presidents are related, right? What they got in common? They ain't directly descended, but they coming from a certain line. And if you're doing anything under the U.S., and you're a major player, nigga, you got Huguenot origins. Warren Buffett. Here are a few little known facts about Warren Buffett. His father was a Republican congressman. And the second one, look, Warren Buffett is a Huguenot ancestry. He is a Huguenot ancestry. George Bush. There you go. The 41st president of the U.S. serving after Ronald Reagan, vice president 8 years. George Bush family history includes a link to a French Protestant greatly persecuted in the Middle Ages called Huguenots. Through his grandmother, Lucretia Will Walker, Lucretia George Bush family tree extend the branch of Gabriel Marine, whatever the fuck, who came to America with the other French Huguenots fleeing persecution in the 1700s. Is it making clear? Is it starting to get clear for you? Okay, and so the first one to be set up by Alexander Hamilton. Okay, your boy Jake. Your boy Jake. Your boy Jake. John Jacob Astor established the first American monopoly with his American Fur Company, 1808, 1834, and devoted his business acumen to enterprise and energies to controlling the fur trade from the Great Lakes to the Pacific coast and beyond to China, where he traded furs and for tea and Chinese porcelains and great profits. Born to German parents of Huguenot descent, Johann Jacob Astor, a butcher village bailiff, and his first wife, Maria Magdalena von Filder, youngest son of Jacob Astor, immigrated to New York City in 1783. He opened a music instrument fur store that expanded in a worldwide full empire with his American Fur Company. This nigga right here had so motherfucking much money. Nigga, the slave, Indian slave trade was booming. Okay, this nigga came in and took over all them niggas shit down there. All right. All these big land grabs and these wars and shit, nigga. And I'm gonna tell you another thing he came with too. You see, you remember the Moors used to tell you that they were the real Illuminati. Okay? The Moors told you that they had a one world government plan. All right? And they gave all of this shit here. The white boys became the custodians. And we see them pushing this one world government where you had some shit called the Illuminati, okay? When you talking about America and you talking about the Illuminati, then you talking about John Jacob motherfucking Astor, nigga. Boss of all bosses, nigga. Fuck around with you niggas. No pseudo. No pseudo. Nigga had the first motherfucking monopoly. Astor engaged trappers and Native Americans to secure the fur pellets that he shipped to China. Astor shipped also traded with South America and Hawaii, where they purchased cargoes of sandalwood marketed in China. Astor was selected as one of the directors of the Second Bank of the United States. Following the war 1812, he profited the elimination of Canadian and British fur trading competition. Okay, so when we go into the Manila Galleon and all this shit here that we always talking about, you better start thinking about motherfucking John Jacob Astor, nigga. And he came here soon, jumped in the Freemason Lodge, nigga, ended up taking over. He had more hustle than them niggas. Came here, he got straight to it. Okay, and he came through here, nigga, with that Illuminati shit. Jefferson, Washington, all of them niggas went through it, nigga. That's why we just tapped into the Freemason. So they had a circle within a motherfucking circle. And John Jacob Astor sat on the motherfucking highest seats with some of the most motherfucking prominent nigga in their motherfucking organization at that time. The Titanic. Y'all remember the Titanic, right? Y'all remember the motherfucking Titanic? What's up with the copper outlaw, sonny, my nigga? Cameron Cosmo, what it was with you, homie? Fuck around with niggas. Okay? And so when we get over here to the motherfucking Titanic, J.P. Morgan planned the disaster to kill his rivals. According to the theory, millionaire banker J.P. Morgan planned the Titanic disaster to kill our rival millionaires, Jacob Astor, Isidore Straus, Benjamin Guggenheim, who all perished aboard. Okay? So when it's the Titanic, motherfucker built so it can never sink, nigga. All these prominent bankers was supposed to come on here because there was conversations about creating these world banks. Okay? So we sitting at the table of Huguenots, nigga. Okay? These are the Huguenots at the table. I know a lot of people call them Huguenots, but over in London and all the area of Europe, they call them Huguenots. Okay? Some of the biggest bankers, all these motherfuckers benefited off the backs of the motherfucking slave trade. You niggas talking about it ain't no fucking slave trade, nigga. Well, you explain to me how these motherfuckers got filthy rich. Cause they was running Indian slave trades, nigga. What the Indians was raiding other Indians for, nigga, for the land to get what? These different resources that came from it, nigga. And these are the beneficiaries of the motherfucking wars and Indian slave trade and raid, nigga. The hatred we had for our people, nigga. These are the beneficiaries of it. Okay? And after Reconstruction, they end up taking this shit to a whole nother motherfucking level. One of the things Lincoln got popped for because he went against the bank. Okay, the bank of who? These motherfuckers, nigga. Nigga, this is mob ties. Niggas coming out here with all this old pseudo-ass information. I don't give a fuck how long you been studying, nigga. If you don't know this motherfucking story, nigga, you been pointed in the wrong direction. That's why I'm glad I pulled up, nigga, without a motherfucking master teacher, nigga. I don't need no motherfucking master teacher, nigga. I got the ancestors, nigga, and they sent me to make this shit real clear. They sent me to make it clear. According to this theory, millionaire J.P. Morgan planned a Titanic disaster to kill off his rival millionaires. The theory hinges on the fact that Morgan had originally planned to sail on the Titanic, but changed his mind shortly before it took off. Yet it doesn't offer any explanation for how he caused the ships to hit the iceberg that killed over 1,500 people, let alone the 3 men that were supposedly intended to die. Top it off, the theory claims Morgan wanted to kill them because they opposed the creation of the Federal Reserve. Okay? And now you have mixed stories on why exactly they fell out, because all 3 of them didn't oppose it. But the motherfucker who needed to for shit to move opposed it. 1912, the Titanic sank. In 1913, the Federal Reserve was created. In 1914, World War I. Is this shit starting to make sense to you now? Who funded it? They say the Jews funded it. There they go. There they go. Let's walk this shit down. Whoa. Whoa. Anthony Benzetti, boss of all bosses. What up, Khalil Jenkins? Rule say bang the like button, bang the cash up. Yo, this definitely motherfucking bang the cash up. Nigga, I put pain in for this shit, nigga. Y'all ain't seen me, nigga, because I was working on this shit. Appreciate that love, little Rudy. Appreciate that love, Dion. Yeah, this why y'all ain't seen me. This why y'all been around here stuck on this struggle content diet. Niggas been on a struggle content diet around this hoe because y'all don't appreciate Top Cat. Anthony Benzetti was the second of 13 children born into a wealthy Huguenot family. Born into a wealthy Huguenot family in St. Quentin in France. He was 2 when his family fled Rotterdam to escape religious persecution in France. Soon they came to London, where they changed their French names to English ones. Whoa. Ain't all these Huguenots coming over here, nigga, anglicizing their names, right? One of the reasons why English, we know English came in the 1700s, right? And this was a language, it became a trade language. And all these Huguenots, they started speaking French and Dutch and all of this shit here and started speaking English because this was something that created unity between them. We're going to walk it down. We come here to talk about it. Let's talk about it. You know what I'm saying? So our Pan-African brothers said that What's your beef with Anthony Benazet? He was just a philanthropist. I want y'all to circle that word philanthropist, okay? Cause I'm gonna make it make sense in today's time. These people running around under these titles of philanthropy and claiming they're doing certain shit for us, nigga, because they love us and they found it in their heart and God put a spirit on them, huh? You check out Anthony Benazet, okay? This is philanthropy. Let's talk about it then. Coming straight out of the motherfucking Huguenots, a wealthy Huguenot family. Who has went and took over all of the trade routes, colonized all these people. Everywhere you see these people at, and they went in and did the indigenous people took their land and switched their identities and all this shit here. It was by a plan of Huguenots, huh? It was by a plan of Moors. It was by a plan of Moriscos. It was about a plan of the Jews. We see the Jews go in the book of Numbers and go take them niggas shit. And they God sent them to do it. Nigga running around this whole talking about they're a Jew and all that, like that's something to be motherfucking proud of. You a Moor or something, and that's something to be proud of, nigga. And the Moors and the motherfucking Jews are the reason why the indigenous people of motherfucking America, nigga, or African Americans today. You niggas want to fuck around, we can fuck around, nigga. I ain't got but one shot in here, nigga. I got 4 more motherfucking videos for this series to be over, nigga. We got 4 more. We just now warming up, nigga. This ain't shit. This ain't shit, nigga. I'm just sitting down on my punches today. That's it. I'm just sitting down on my punches today. I've been gone for a minute. I'm back, nigga. In 1750, he started to offer evening classes to black people, mostly in his own home. In 1754, he started the first Philadelphia secondary school for girls. In 1770, he convinced Quakers to build the first free day school for African Americans. Prominent African Americans such as James Fortin, Richard Allen, and Absalom Jones were all educated at Anthony Benazet School. Oh, we about to get deep. Yes, it would say work that jab. I'm just gonna work behind the jab on the ass. It's sticking to the body, goddamn. Prominent African Americans such as James Ford, Richard Allen, and Absalom Big Ab Jones were all educated at Anthony Benazet School. Huh? We're gonna make this, huh? Check them out. Check them out. Godfathers to this Pan-African shit. Okay? The Godfathers to this Pan-African shit, nigga. Yeah. Nigga, Big Chief in this bitch. The Pan-Africans been punching down Indians and Aboriginals left and right. Facts, nigga. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't got a lot of kicking, nigga. It is what it is, nigga. Pan-Africans been doing everybody like that, nigga. So don't feel bad. They been smacking up every like a motherfucker. Godfathers to this Pan-African shit. Along with the Reverend Absalom Jones, who had also left St. George, Allen helped fund the Free African Society, a non-denominational religious mutual aid society. The AMEC grew out of the Free African Society, with Richard Allen, Absalom Jones, and others established in Philadelphia in 1787. 1787. Remember, they got that peace and friendship treaty there too. The U.S. can go hustle overseas now. 1794, Bethel AME was dedicated with Allen as pastor to establish Bethel independence from inferring white Methodists. Allen called them to meet in Philadelphia to form a new Wesleyan denomination, the AME. The AME. And they say this is, you know, this AME started being a pillar in our community, and this was something that we'll look on, and you know, some of us will get our culture roots, and we grew up in this. You know what I'm saying? I was under the Roger Williams. He went and created the Baptist Church. Elliot went and created the the motherfucking Elliott Bible and shit. He fucking with the Algonquins. Williams, he was fucking with the Narragansett. And so we come right here, and then this here is gonna be a branch that's created for us. Big Ab Jones became the first ordained pastor in the motherfucking United States, right? Now let's walk this shit down. And so Allen, he go through the Wesleyan denomination, and he create the AME, which are offspring from these white boys organizations, is what I want y'all to understand. The geographical spread of the AMEC prior to the Civil War was mainly restricted to the Northeast and Midwest. Major congression was established in Philadelphia. Listen to what they was, listen, okay? Major congressions were established in Philadelphia, New York, Boston, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Baltimore, Washington, D.C., Cincinnati, Chicago, Detroit, and other large blacksmith shop cities. Listen, family, and other large blacksmith shop cities. Nigga, I can get up and I can walk off right now, really. I can really get up and just walk off right now. Because when they left St. George and they created their own shit, they were doing it out the high. Then they had to go to a Quaker school. They had to go to one of these free African schools and start building their shit. They ended up getting their shit right, and it became an offspring of the Quaker school. The Quaker church. Became an offspring to the Quaker church. Everything about them was they got it from the white boys. Everything about them. And these white boys had a secret society called the Society of Friends, which was an international society of Huguenots. And so when I left off on Anthony Benzetti the last time, and I said he was a Huguenot, and I dropped the mic and walked off, nigga, I said, damn, that probably went over some people's head, nigga, but we're going to talk about it today. We're going to talk about it today. Because look at these areas that they went and built they AME churches. Okay? All the major congressionals were established in Philadelphia, New York, Boston, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Baltimore, Washington, D.C., Cincinnati, Chicago, Detroit, and other large blacksmith shop cities. Listen to me, homie. All of these cities were where the Huguenots went to. If you niggas want to fuck around, we can fuck around. All of these cities were strongholds of the Huguenots. And what they say? And large blacksmith shop cities. Who were the blacksmiths, nigga? The motherfucking Huguenots. These were the skilled artisans. Are you niggas walking with me or not? Drop some flames in the motherfucking chat if you niggas walking with me. Drop some flames in the motherfucking chat if you niggas walking with me. Okay? Because see, they didn't create this shit on their own. They were working under these white boys. And these white boys needed them to go out and do this missionary work. Oh, listen, homie, when we walking through this shit, all of this shit was missionary work. They came over here with the missionary work. They told niggas they was Hebrews and all this shit here, nigga, through missionary work. They got the Cherokees. They ended up bringing up the Ridge family and them, Elijah Budanos and Wadis and the Ridges and shit, nigga. And they brought them in through Moravian missionary program. The Moravians, this is Huguenots. Why is all the AME churches located? It's all the major congressionals were established and all of these key strongholds for the Huguenots. I wonder why. And the white boy that's teaching them is a Huguenot, born into a wealthy Huguenot family. All under the disguise as philanthropy. Hold on. Wait a minute. You niggas fucking with the right one. Huh? Who is that? Didn't he create don't they give him credit for creating the Freemasons? Huh? He was a Huguenot. Yeah. There were Jews in colonial America, let alone among the ranks of the Freemasons. The Jews who arrived in America tend to be wealthy and well-connected. Through their main explosions of financial jobs, they were often legally limited in Europe. Jews had occurred a number of contacts across European countries, which gave them the advantage in business and trade. That is why many of them became merchants and shopkeepers when they came to America, and why they were concentrated in port cities. And so we get this Freemason. Huh? Now let's walk this shit down. Now, when they created the Free African Society, when they created the Free African Society, they ended up getting the AME Church. And when we like we brought up already, it said on the document that they later became you know what I'm saying, and they took the ways of the Quakers, right? And so let's come down here, Let's come down here. Is it making sense for you now? This is the Prince Hall Freemasons. This is Prince Hall Freemasons. Is it making sense to you, family? Is it making sense to you niggas now? Okay? This is Prince Hall Freemason. And what they got on, What they look like? Who they look like? Who they look like? Who they look like? According to existing records, the first warned the lives of Freemasons, of free and accepted Masons among men of color in Pennsylvania, was erected by the Right Worship Grand Master Prince Hall, assisted by Grand Warden Cyrus Forbes and George Middleton of the African Grand Lodge in Massachusetts on September the 22nd, 1797 in Philadelphia. This motherfucking mic is smoking right now. The lodge was known as the African Lodge number 459 of Philadelphia. This action came as a result of communication dated March 2nd, 1797 from Peter Monroe of Philadelphia to Prince Hall of Boston. Notice where it's created at, y'all. In Philadelphia. In Philadelphia. Who in Philadelphia, nigga? The motherfucking Quakers, nigga. The Society of everything is taking place in Philadelphia. Nigga, don't worry, nigga. Wait, keep that right there. Circle that, nigga. Circle that shit if you writing this shit down out there, nigga. Circle that, nigga. Philadelphia. Cause we will be back. We will be back to Philly, nigga. This actually comes as a result of communication dated March 2nd. Massachusetts, Philadelphia, the Prince Hall of Boston, Massachusetts, requesting a dispensation to open hold a lodge among Freemasons of color residing in the city of Philadelphia. The Reverend Big Ab Solomon Jones of the African Episcopal Church of Philadelphia was elected worship master, and Richard Allen, founder of the first bishop of the African Methodist Episcopal Church, was served as treasurer. And so after they create the Free African Society, they come back, create the AME Church. Big Al become the first ordained minister, and then he come and goddamn, he run the motherfucking Prince Hall Masonry, nigga. That's why all you pastors, that's why all of the pastors are Freemasons. Where they getting this shit from? The white boy. So they're setting up a system that is identical to the white boy. But hold on. Wait a minute. Nigga, I ain't been gone for nothing. I'm just sitting down on my punches now. The geographical spread of the AMEC prior to the Civil War was mainly restricted in the Northeast and Midwest. Major congregations were established in Philadelphia, New York, Boston, Pittsburgh, Baltimore. Hold on, time out, goddamn. I done jump. All right. The pioneer spirit, which led the establishment of these great institutions of responsibility and service to the Black community of yesteryear, and fostered the organization of the Free African Society, a beneficial and moral reform society among free Blacks on April 12, 1787 in Philadelphia. Check it out. The first insurance beneficial society among free Blacks also came because of the activities of the Free African Society, as well as the movement for the establishment of schools for education of free Black children. Okay, and now the movement, as well as the movement for the establishment of schools for education of free Black children. Okay, and so these group of Huguenots who came over here took over all of the port cities and shit. They came under the skies as the Dutch, under the skies as the French, as the British, as Spain. Now, you did have Catholics in Spain who went a different way, right? And so we followed them through the Franciscans, and we followed them through the Jesuits, and we see you get Spain start going in, we get them in Texas. They created the Alamo down there, built the Alamo down there. We see the influence in over here. So we'll see Spain along with these other parties. And later they'll all come together, right? Under motherfucking Huguenot, under one power Huguenot, nigga. All right, let's walk this shit down. And so, the success of the later movement is owed largely to the generous aid and support given by the Society of Friends. Okay, the success of the latter movement is owed largely to the generous aid, philanthropy, right? The generous aid out here getting that white boy money, huh? And you think you're gonna do what you want to do? This ain't yours. NAACP, civil rights, all of that shit, nigga. And what was Mega Evans, Dr. King, what was them niggas going to? They was in the Masonic Lodge. They was running this shit out of a Masonic Lodge, nigga. Okay? Free African Society as well as the movement, these schools for education. Now, these people didn't set up education. They setting up all of this shit here out of their line. They didn't set up banking systems, insurance systems. They slave traders, slave owners. They the merchants. They running the ports. Y'all want to talk about this shit or not? And then they're educating black people. And they have built a system similar to theirs for these black people under their motherfucking guidance. Okay, because when Richard Allen and them went to court to get their own church, nigga, where they ain't have to operate in there with them white boys no more, because they wouldn't let them move up the ranks. Guess what, nigga? Them white boys put up money, nigga. They helped put up money for the nigga defense case. Why? Because they wanted them niggas to have their own shit to do missionary work for them. When the ACS was created, the American Colonization Society, nigga, them motherfuckers was that sending niggas back to Africa shit. This was because they had established through the treaties they land. So they had something to call their own at this time. Big Kona out of Onondaga tribe, he went over there and gave them government. They got something to call their own now. And now they say, man, we don't want to live here because we steady having these uprisings. They steady having to fight y'all. So they say, we got to think of a way. They end up doing the American Colonization Society. Family, now watch this shit here. The American government paid money for you to leave. They was giving niggas $100 and 14 acres to go to Haiti. They was sending niggas to Nova Scotia, Canada, Africa, the Caribbean. They even tried to send some niggas to Ethiopia. And so they wanted to get rid of you here. Most motherfuckers at the time, we weren't going for that shit because we went from no motherfucking Africa. Period. But then you get this group come through. And everything is African on there. Now I want to tell you something. First off, these the niggas, they not the first one to call it African, right? These white boys, these Huguenots started African schools, nigga. Okay, Benzetti started schools, and he was the first to put African on the motherfucker. Bars. He put the African on it. So when Ab Jones and Allen, who were students of his, when they started creating things for their own, they kept the titles. They kept the titles. And that's a motherfucking fact. Don't worry, nigga. I got some more on that, nigga. But that's for when I cock the pistol and reload, nigga. I don't keep it one shot on me. Oh, we can talk about it. See, they ain't had nothing without these white boys. And the success of the latter movement is owed largely to the generous aid, the philanthropy, and support given by the Society of Friends. the Quaker community in the city of Philadelphia. Okay? So they AME church, they school system, the education system, and they Freemasonry, Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Can I get some flames? Can I get some flames? We ain't done. We just getting started, nigga. We ain't done. Hold on. Hold on. Let me share my screen. We ain't done. We ain't done. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. The secret of the Skull and Bones Society and the powerful men behind it. Hey, y'all better put this bitch up as a classic, nigga. This motherfucker right here, nigga, better live on, nigga. All facts, no pseudo. The secret history of the Skull and Bones Society and the powerful men behind it. With powerful members and mysterious rituals, the Skull and Bones Society has long been associated with the sinister conspiracy theories. Legend has it in 1918, under covers of darkness, Yale student Prescott Bush dug up the grave of Geronimo. Bush, along with several co-conspirators, took the skull and two bones and framed the Apache leader back to the Yale University in New Haven. Okay, remember the Puritans came here, Or the Walloons and shit, nigga, and created this, and they wanted to make New Haven, Connecticut, Israel. All right, where they have been displayed on headquarters of one of the most American mysterious secret society. Bush, the father of President George W. H. Bush and grandfather of George W., is a bonesman. He, along with his cohorts, was a member of the elite club at the Yale University known as Skull and Bones Society. Throughout history, some of the most prominent American figures have been bonesmen, handpicked, listen, homie, handpicked, Huguenot blood, nigga, okay? That's what it means, Huguenot blood, nigga. And when I told y'all want to talk about that Illuminati shit, nigga, and you niggas acting like this is a conspiracy or a nigga like, you know what I'm saying, you niggas better wake up, right? It ain't got no spook shit. It's just a bunch of motherfuckers, nigga, who have a plan, nigga, who are passing down through certain lineages, nigga. You know what I'm saying? This shit is being passed on, that these are doing the work of their forefathers. You know what I'm saying? Now, handpicked members of Yale graduates class selected to join ranks of elite students, in addition to the Bushes, both W.H. and Prescott footsteps. Listen, it said both W.H. and W followed in Prescott Bush footsteps during the time of the university. Members have included hundreds of government officials, such as former Secretary of State John Kerry, as well as members of the entertainment industry, such as actor Paul Giamatti. Aside of notable alumni and few legends, not much is known about the elusive society. Okay, started in 1832, 131 years after the university opened its doors, the society was founded, and some existing societies fell into conflict over award ceremony. To stop the conflict reach its conclusion, members from Lanoa, the Brothers University, California Society diverged. All right, and so they created this society called the Skull and Bones at Yale. Keep in mind, nigga, that's a real important place over there. Hold on, give me 2 seconds. Let me do something. I want to show y'all something. I want to make it clear. I hope I ain't boring y'all out there. I hope I ain't boring y'all. You know, I deleted my app. I deleted social media. And you know, I said I can't miss. I ain't got but one shot. I'm trying to hit 3 niggas with this one shot. I'm trying to hit 3 niggas with this one shot. And I gotta make it up out of here alive. I can't miss I can't miss, goddamn. Hold on, let me see. Should I do it on here? Tell me.
We have in this past year.
I don't know if y'all can hear it. Hold on, let me see something.
We have before us the opportunity to forge.
All right, check this out. Hey, listen to this.
This is an historic moment. We have in this past year made great progress in ending the long era of conflict and Cold War. We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order, a world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations. When we are successful, and we will be.
Listen,
we have a real chance.
You heard him?
Ending the long era of conflict and Cold War. We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order, a world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations. When we are successful, and we will be.
You heard him?
We have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
Huh? Okay. He say this is something that's been going on for some time. He said this is something that's been going on for some time. Man, I want you to understand this is something. This we about to go deep. We about to go deep. I ain't done yet.
Disarmament, the promotion of peace and security, the preservation of our planet, and a global economy that advances opportunity for all people.
Among the speakers that followed the US president, the leader of Libya, Muammar Gaddafi, speaking at the UN for the first time after 40 years in power.
All right, now hold on. Let me share my screen. So Bush now got this secret organization, all of them being members, from granddaddy down to the little Bush. And they sent Prescott Bush. He down there went to jail. He went to trial for laundering money and fucking with the Germans, right? Why? Because they were Germans, who came from, people left France and went into Germany. And in the 1700s, you had some come here to America. What you're looking at on the screen, ladies and gentlemen, is Los Angeles Times, July the 18th, 1990. This was an article by Karen Grisby Bates. When the NAACP conference ended here last week, civil rights leaders left behind a portrait of black men in crisis. Too many young black men, said the civil rights group, are underemployed, alternatively filled and reviled and living at risk. See, I don't know if niggas thought I came to play with a nigga ass today. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even gonna tell you what my weapon of choice is. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna tell you what my weapon of choice is, goddamn. I appreciate that love, Fred. Appreciate that love, Gabe. And I'm born here. Appreciate that love. We finna walk this shit down, goddamn. We finna walk it down. All them other days, that shit over with. You know, all that other shit over with. Now come to me in the Sigma Pi Phi, a one secret black fraternity. Let me do this here so y'all won't think I'm bullshit. This is from 1990. All right, that bitch ain't working. Fuck it. You won't let me blow it up. But it's a secret black fraternity that celebrates the professional and material success of black men known as the Boule. Known as the Boule. If y'all thought we was done, we not even done yet. We halfway through the bill, family. We halfway through the bill. I didn't come to fuck around, nigga. Best that ever did it and got away with it, nigga. This celebrate the professional and material success of black men known as the Boule. The group is here in a week in the biennial meeting and its own look at an agenda for black males in the 90s. All right. Right here in this article in Los Angeles Times, it says, it was an invitation only tuxedo gathering of some of the most prominent and powerful black men in America who say they are struggling to define their responsibility to other black men, the ones the NAACP call endangered. Okay, they talking about y'all ass. Again, notice these people separating themselves and they to you. Okay? Why do these niggas feel so above you? Huh? Don't you see the same mentality that them niggas had back then? Same mentality that the Moors have today. Why do they act like that? We know who the Moors is now. And who the black was. Who were to be like the white boys who they taught because they were originally black. And they gave the game to these white boys. Okay? And so Boule is a Greek word designating a council of community leaders who advise the kings. Okay? Boule, the Sigma Pi Phi, designated a council of community leaders who advise the kings. All right? The reference members of 3,000 man worldwide fraternity is a highly intentional. Okay? These are people who advise the kings. Now, why would somebody go out and make us and create a system where they say they are advising the kings? When we go back and look at Richard Allen and Big Al, huh? They created everything for blacks, but what? It was under the options of these white boys, huh? Which made them advisors to the motherfucking kings, nigga. Can I get some flames in this bitch? Let me get some flames. Let me know y'all still with me, huh? This whole advisor to the king shit, nigga. Okay, the roster of members here this week reads like who's who among blacks. U.S. Secretary of Health and Human Services Louis W. Sullivan, Democratic National Committee Chairman Ron Brown, Mayor Tom Bradley, NAACP Executive Director Benjamin Hooks, like Yale Skull and Bones. Listen to me, family. Like Yale Skull and Bones Secret Society, to which George Bush belonged, the Boule has been criticized by some of a social acronym and has challenged members to change its image. Incoming President Dr. Benjamin Moore, a retired San Francisco physician, said he is aware of changes, that the group is more interested in socializing and congratulating itself on the inevitable inclusivity that it is making substantial contributions to the rest of Black America. Okay, now just like this thing was created to be just like Skull and Bone, huh? Just like the white boy shit. Created just like the white boy shit, huh? Okay, just like Richard Allen them did it. With a secret society, the Society of Friends. I want to bring you over here to the Moors. Now, we have established the fact that when the Jews got to North Carolina, the Muslims got to North Carolina, they were black. Okay? And then they became what? White South Carolinas mixing in and New York and all of the areas up there, Connecticut and shit. And they became European, took on European names and shit. Remember that? Changed their languages to their first languages, started being English. Okay? Now watch this here, our brother Hakeem Bey. Check him out. Very knowledgeable brother. Check him out.
The divine plan. America didn't happen by chance. All this was part of the divine plan that this will come about. The Moors then had a plan for a new world order. A one world, new world order. That was a Moorish plan originally.
Hold on. Y'all probably can't hear it on here. Hold up. I want y'all to pay close attention. I want y'all to pay close attention. Hope y'all taking notes because I'm taking this whole down.
It was a divine plan. America didn't happen by chance. All this was part of the divine plan that this would come about.
What did Hakeem Bey just say? He say America didn't happen by chance. This was a design plan that this would happen. And as we've been going through this story, what has this story been telling you? That it has been a divine plan. What do the Moors know that you niggas don't know? Why they never unified with you niggas? Let's talk about it.
It was a divine plan. America didn't happen by chance. All this was part of the divine plan that this would come about. The Moors then had a plan for a new world order. A one world, new world order. That was a Moorish plan originally. The Europeans inherited that plan through the Masonic Lodge, which was the vehicle by which we civilized and taught the Europeans.
Huh? Y'all still with me? Y'all still with me? Make this shit make sense.
It was a divine plan. America didn't happen by chance. All this was part of the divine plan that this would come about. The Moors then had a plan for a new world order. A one world, new world order. That was a Moorish plan originally. The Europeans inherited that plan through the Masonic Lodge, which was the vehicle by which we civilized and taught the Europeans. And so now when we hear them saying it, we ready to throw the baby with the bathwater, thinking it's from them. No, we originally laid out that plan for one divine world order. And they merely inherited it. And when we fell off, they still espoused it. Even though many of them are not carrying out right exactly, because you got to understand that the European Masons who run this government, who run the international scene, that they're under certain oaths and obligations. There's certain things that they can't do. There's certain things that they can't speak on. They're functioning more or less in a custodial capacity or fiduciary capacity. They will make custodians. When we were falling from power, we said, all right.
Listen, family.
Who run the international scene, that they're under certain oaths and obligations. There's certain things that they can't do. There's certain things that they can't speak on. They're functioning more or less in a custodial capacity or fiduciary capacity. They will make custodians. When we were falling from power, we said, all right, see this throne? We're going to make you custodians of this throne. You're going to become the keepers of the light, not the bearers of the light. We were the bearers of the light. We was one who was able to actually go out there and re-educate the whole human family of planet Earth. We made them keepers, which means that it's but so much they can speak on. You look at the degree structure. Water freezes at what? 32 degrees, right? Well, the highest they go is 32 degrees, which means what? Their wisdom, their water, their wisdom is locked up. It's froze shut. They can't get out here teaching like we can. It's froze shut. And maybe once in a while, one of them may be honored with the honorary 33rd degree, and then they throw it out a little more. Maybe they can say a few things, but not too much. You see what I'm saying? And so we put those Europeans in power when we fell from power, because at that time, the Catholic Church through the Franciscan and Dominican orders,
Listen.
destroying everything that the Moors had built up. All the civilization, all the high science that we had developed and cultivated and built up, they was destroying on a global level. And so we put the Europeans and Masons in power. We refer to them as the mystic Turks, or chief protectors of the sacred shrine. The shrine of what? The shrine of more science, of more civilization that we had cultivated for so long. We put them there in charge of it. And so they're custodians. And
I ain't coming to this bitch to fuck around, nigga. I ain't come here to fuck around. I ain't come here to fuck around. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Kiowa, Mystic Turks. Huh? Huh? We came here to talk about it, right? We came here to talk about it, right? Yeah, we did. We came here to talk about it, right? He said the Moors gave it to the white boys when they was falling out of power. They became the custodians. Huh? And so when so when you see the Jews coming in and all these Moors, huh? The Huguenots were descendants of Muslims in Europe. Huguenot history, description, faith in Europe, and their occupations and skills, etc., are so integrally related to Muslims. It is well known that before the fall of the Muslims, in Sicily and Spain had to use two names, whether one to hide their Muslim origin when passing through doing business with people in enemy area. Okay? We know that the Muslims in Spain and other parts of Europe were known in many denominations: Moors, Moriscos, religionaries, Muzawars, crypto-Muslim, conversios, and also Huguenots as well. Fuck is wrong with niggas? Huh? We ain't done. Let's walk this shit down. Let's walk this shit down. Hold on, let me put my charge on. Bang the like button, bang the goddamn cash app, nigga. If you ain't never ever donated before, nigga, this is worth it. This is worth it. You can't go get this nowhere else, nigga. You can't go get this nowhere else. Huh? And so, F. Solomon Jones, Richard Allen, they ended up coming out of Anthony Benazet. Who else came up out of that? James Ford, one of the richest black people at that time, who was a merchant. He got a hell of a story, but he was in bed with them white boys too. Well, meet Miss Harriet Fortin, Purvis, Harriet Fortin. This is the daughter of James Fortin. She married a Moor named Robert Purvis out of Carolina. He said his grandma is a full-blooded Moor. I didn't say just go pull him up. Robert Purvis, the Purvis brothers, famous abolitionists at that time. Okay? Miss Ford enters in the world around her reawakening as she breathlessly followed news on the fighting. She realized that she was in a position to make a unique contribution to the cause that interested her most. She saw help demonstrate that the freed slaves were as capable of progress as abolitionists had long maintained. Okay? She demonstrated that the free slaves were capable of progress, and abolitionists has maintained all the time, right? And so she said that black people weren't stupid. They wasn't stupid. They can learn to read. They can maintain if they was put in the proper position and educated. Now, when they said as the abolitionists had long maintained, what abolitionists? Remember, her daddy was taught by Anthony Benzetti, right? Who was the one that was saying that blacks were inferior to whites. Okay, he met some smart black people. That's what he said. And so here come his daughter. Oh, hey, this big chief top cat nigga sitting down on his punches today, nigga. We sitting on them hoes. The opportunity was okay. The opportunity was created by the military situation at Port Royal, South Carolina. Remember who founded Port Royal? The French. Remember they went up there and founded Port Royal, Carolina, St. Caroline. Isolation of the Sea Islands where they live. Listen, isolation of the Sea Islands where they live, the density of the slave population, and the lack of contact with civilization had left them illiterate, untrained, and retarded. Okay, now they're talking about the Gullah Geechee people. Okay, the Gullah Geechee people. Isolation on the Sea Islands where they live, the density of the slave population, and the lack of contact with civilization had left them illiterate, untrained, and retarded. Even their language consisted of a strange mixture of garbled English and African imperfect words, and mixture of English imperfect words and African expressions. The plight of these new, okay, now watch, they're talking about the Gullah Geechee people now. What we have to understand too, you had these Boers from South Carolina. These were Huguenots from South Africa who went into South Africa. These same people also had connections and family over here, and they ended up coming to the Sea Islands. So they brought some of their culture over here with them, the Africans, or they're called the Boers, Boers in history. You know what I'm saying? These are Huguenot Africans. You feel me? Who were down in the Sea Islands on the plantations and shit down there. All right. And so the plight of these unfortunates was publicized in the regional Conqueror General Thomas W. Sherman, who in January 1862 urged that suitable instructors be sent to the Negroes to teach them all necessary rudiments of civilization. Now, we'll also get, damn, what's my boy name, man? Fuck. He went down there. He ended up getting some of that shit, some of that land down there, and they built their own nation, government, all that shit down there. I can't think of his name, though, right now, man. It'll come to me. We did a build on him. All right, so, all right, let me stop trying to think of this nigga name. All right, and the agents properly qualified, be employed and sent here to take charge of the plantations and superintended the work of the blacks. Okay, and superintend the work of the blacks. So they still got these white boys over here. They gonna send these niggas down there to build something for these niggas, but they gonna still supervise it. You see it? They gonna send them down there. They gonna be employed. They say that agents properly qualified, be employed and sent there to take charge of the plantation and superintend the work of blacks until they be sufficiently enlightened to think and provide for themselves. The request was referred to Solomon P. Chase, Secretary of the Treasury. Relief Association were operating by March the 3rd, 1862. Okay, and this right here was an experiment by the U.S. government to go in. Now, if they could go in and educate these people on the Sea Islands, this here program is effective, then this became the basis of education in the South. They will implement the same program experiment in the South because remember they had just started getting down there in the South and they hadn't conquered all of the lands and shit yet, but they wanted to use this down there to educate the blacks in the South. They walked this shit down, nigga. And guess who one of the teachers went down there? Okay, James Forten's daughter. On this day, the first contingent of superintendents and teachers, 41 men and 12 women, all white, sailed from New York. Okay, and so they sent in all of the agents down there to be over them. Okay, beautiful daughter too. That Jane Fortin daughter. Okay, Harriet Fortin. Go down there and do the work of her father's white philanthropist friends. Okay, her daddy had big stripes. That nigga that was well paid, well made. In a real way. Bang the goddamn light boy, bang the cash app, goddamn. Let's turn up. Peabody, George Peabody, also took a prominent role in civic affairs, using the position of power as an active philanthropist. Okay, here come that philanthropist shit again. Here come again, family. Peabody's greatest concern was the advancement of education. Peabody's greatest concern was the advancement of education, and he eventually retired from his many business interests to devote himself to humanitarian work. Woo! Do y'all know who this white boy is? Do y'all know who that is? Nigga, that George Peabody, nigga. Yeah. George Peabody wanted free education. He was a philanthropist. He wanted to get education to all. Anthony Benzetti wanted to get free education to black people. Huh? All under options of philanthropy. And so this philanthropy became a movement of wealthy Huguenots, huh? Who were in control over the banking, the insurance, the merchants, the sea, the trade, came in and created this system called the U.S., huh? Took the lands of the indigenous people of America. And now they're educating them through philanthropy work. A philanthropist, look, they started him out, philanthropist, a native of Georgia. Peabody is often listed alongside such men as John D. Rockefeller, Andrew Carnegie, J.P. Morgan, men who rose from obscurity to prominence after Reconstruction. Peabody's businesses were central to the building of railroads in the United States and Mexico, and to financing mining, electrical, and sugar beet industries. Peabody Fund, free education. The Peabody Fund, and a lot of motherfuckers still get grants and scholarships and shit off the Peabody Fund, nigga. Okay? See, he wanted to come in and take it all away and change the whole game up. They wanted to create an institution where they can run the education department free of government, nigga. Okay? And so when you look at your college footballs and your sports and NCAAs and all of this type of shit here, nigga, huh? Philanthropy work, nigga. They make billions and get the students nothing, nigga, and tell them they giving them what? Free education. Is this shit starting to make sense for y'all yet? Is this shit starting to make sense to y'all yet? Huh? The Peabody Fund, the pioneer educational foundation in the United States, was established in 1867 by George Peabody, a native of Massachusetts. We right back in Massachusetts, family. Huh? Huguenot territory, who subsequently became a banker in London. He gave $2 million to encourage and assist educational efforts in the U.S. South. Huh? In the South, where your HBCUs and shit start popping up. Huh? In the South, education efforts in the U.S. South to help the region recover from the ravages of the Civil War. To administer the fund, he named 16 men of distinction from the North and the South. The fund greatly assisted general education and teacher training for both whites and blacks in the states that had formed confederacies and West Virginia, dissolved in 1914. During its lifetime, the Peabody Fund distributed about 365 million. Huh? You know, I want to appreciate y'all putting up, rocking out with me. You know what I'm saying? Y'all better hang this hoe up as one of the classics, nigga. I told y'all I ain't gonna be around too long. Boxing heating back up, nigga. I'm about to go back to the boxing. I'm finna lead y'all back to the information. Y'all can have this shit, nigga. But I'm going out with a bang, nigga. After my making up African American, goddamn, I'm chunking the deuce, nigga. Cause by then, at the end of this bitch, y'all gonna have the whole story, nigga. Y'all gonna have the whole story, nigga. I came in this hoe with one shot, nigga, and I came to get my man. One shot. I need to hit 3 niggas with this one shot. The magic bullet. John D. Rockefeller. When we enter the teaching professions, we do not do it with the intentions of making money. We have an entirely different end in view. John D. Rockefeller. When we enter the teaching professions, we do not do it with the expectations of making money. We have an entirely different end in view. I want y'all to be very alert. And if y'all write shit down too, I want y'all to really pay attention to this. Carnegie's money easily recruited 21 professionals to the board of his fund, which totaled 25, including Presidents A.T. Hadley of Yale, listen, George W. Eliot of Harvard, William R. Harper of the University of Chicago. Y'all know about Chicago, huh? Nicholas Murray Butler of New York Columbia University, and Woodrow Wilson of Princeton. Okay? And so this nigga Carnegie now, and the Rockefeller, and these bankers, these Huguenot bankers, they are getting together with all other institutions that were founded by Huguenots. Okay? Effectively recruiting the entire teaching force of the nation's universities as allies. Huh? As allies. Yeah, we walk it. Check this out. And all in the process transforming many honest intellectuals into money-chasing academics. Carnegie's financial carry forced a top-down shakedown on the nation's education institutions. Further in the quest to gain control of the institutions of higher learning, colleges were forced to open their books. Okay? It got so bad the government had to come in. Y'all knew they took Rockefeller to court and everything. These niggas was out there influencing the motherfucking school systems. Now watch this here. Colleges were forced to open their books financially as well as classrooms to reveal any hidden sources of financial support. Huh? Because these niggas was paying them off. They're creating this society. They're going back to the secrets. Huh? And that's why all of them are Masons. That's why all of them are Masons. All right? The motherfucking feds had to come in and force these niggas to open the books. Nigga, who funding y'all? With Carnegie's fund going so far as to issue a bulletin number 3 to provide standard forms for financial reports of colleges, universities, and technical schools to ensure full compliance. No longer would they be allowed to be governed by a body led by church elders, nor would they have a veto over the new progressive course structure. Carnegie's men, primarily accountants, who soon blanketed the country, the nigga was everywhere, became derogatorily known as standardizers. Y'all ever heard of the standardizers? One of the major accomplishments being the installation of the now college credit, further imposing a uniform structure of the institution. So when they now they're putting together, they got a governing body. They not allowed. They not governed by the church, elders, nothing. You know what I'm saying? because they had to split the school systems, but all that shit that was ran the same. That's why the teachers stand up there like the preachers stand up there, and y'all go sit y'all ass down, and y'all, you know, a nigga, you gonna get this work today. You know what I'm talking about? You gonna get this shit your ass down and get this work. I'm about to put it on you. This forced liberalizing of the course structure created. Listen. Of the course structure created, as if overnight, listen family, as if overnight the specialized disciplines of in archaeology, whatever the fuck, history, psychology, among others, thus accomplished with privatized money. So they paid off to change the curriculums, to build curriculums that will miseducate the people. You will start hearing about shit you ain't ever heard about. Why you think the corner get out of these here, or where you start getting your books and shit from? That's why all of it, nigga, from Maine to Spain is all the same. And so they started changing. They created some shit that wasn't here before. Anthropology, whatever the fuck. History and psychology. Okay, history and psychology. Thus accomplished with privatized money, including the forced ascendance of mathematics over physics, in the science world, coinciding with the efforts of Lord Bertrand Russell, who first came to the United States in 1905, where he see the rise of the newly invented social sciences. Okay, the newly invented social sciences, where a new form of empirical, now Christianized scientific inquiry was being developed. Okay, and so now you see where all of these sources, when niggas call niggas sources, because they go pull religious motherfucking sources, nigga, and try to have historic motherfucking history behind. Well, all of this type of shit was created here. This is why all the miseducation and all of this shit here started coming. And why you gotta fight out pseudos and all of this shit here, because this is what they created through this new system that these bankers Huguenots, Masons start to create. This is the system that they created to go along with their system of the United States. All right. This motherfucker say a now Christianized scientific inquiry was being developed, involving the applications of mathematical, statistical methods to social problems and relations. This became fertile ground for the development of concepts such as the bell curve. Huh? I want y'all to take a look at them. Yep. Are we on fire today, family? Was it worth the wait? Was it worth the wait? That's all I want to know. Was it worth the wait? Was it worth the wait, family? Yeah. Hey, y'all, give me 2 seconds real quick. Give me 2 seconds. Let me run and do something. I'm about to go grab something real. I'm about to go grab a bottle of water real quick.
Damn, Charles. They know my name, on game, born center, door to door. If it's war, I'm about to run them. Shot caller, front line, go get them. Come and hear me, 4x4, big stunner. Round the corner, on my way, trying to close out the car. Walk down, got out the 1 to 10 on him, and us, fuck me, and it's fuck you, you know what's up. Spin on them, I'ma spin on them. Go again on them, go again on them. Spin on them, I'ma spin on them. Go in on them. Go again on them, go again. I'ma spin on them in designer. This a Louis Glock, cut his top like some liners. When you go through his block, Gertie in a wheelchair, you this shit against the glass. Drinking my loot.
Turn up in this motherfucker. Bang the goddamn like button. Share the video. Support this motherfucking bill, nigga. Support this bill. And this coming from an Indian, nigga. See, they say Indians don't supposed to know this shit. Yeah. They gonna put some respect on this shit. They gonna put some respect on Indian territory, nigga. Huh? Y'all see that up there? Huh? Carter G. Woodson, the father of Black history. Yep. I mean, do I even have to say something? Is it making sense to you? They done took over the school programs. Oh, man. Hold on. Time out. Wait, let me do something. I'm missing the slide. Hold on. I say, wait a minute, that ain't. Hold on, here we go. Here we go, I'm missing the slide. I found it though, nigga. Let's tap in. Okay. Now y'all can't see this one right here, but the gentleman's name is Frederick T. Gates. Okay? Frederick T. Gates. At the dawn of the 20th century, John D. Rockefeller Sr. had so much money that it was literally making him sick. Requests for his fortune were thus nagging at his soul. A devout Baptist who firmly believed that the ability to make money came from God. Rockefeller soon came to trust the Reverend Frederick T. Gates, whom he encountered in his earlier days of philanthropy. Notice this philanthropy word keep coming around, right? Rockefeller, the philanthropy. He met Frederick T. Gates while he was doing philanthropy work through American Baptist Education Society. Okay? And through this Baptist Education Society, they started putting these schools. They had the AME Church, all of this shit here. Listen, homie. All coming from the Huguenots. All coming from the Huguenots, nigga. And so, let's walk this shit down. Then what Peabody and them and all of them come in. Astros and shit. Let's walk this shit down. With the management distributions of his funds, Gates, a fellow Baptist who had been ordained a minister in 1880, had become corresponding secretary of the ABS, which had been established in conjunction with the Rockefeller financing of the University of Chicago. So the Rockefellers financed the University of Chicago. Huh? Yeah, Big Chief, nigga, put some respect on my name, nigga. Financing of the University of Chicago, a project which John D. Rockefeller Sr. seeded with over 600,000 beginning in 1890 at the first easing of the country's distributing the funds of minor millionaire Charles Alfred Pillsbury in 1889. Gates apparently decided he wanted to get closer to God. Listen to him. He wanted to get closer to God. He left the ministry and went to work directly with Rockefeller. So this nigga here, he done left his job, nigga, and told them, oh, they say, why you quit? That nigga say, I want to get closer to God. Huh? Nigga, Rockefeller putting all his money into it, nigga. Hey, man, Shay, nigga, God has a calling for me, nigga. Nigga left all that shit alone, nigga. Because God had a calling for him, nigga. He left the ministry and went to work directly for Rockefeller. Okay, this one of his famous drops. This is what Frederick T. Gates is known for, right? In our dream, we have limited resources and the people yield themselves with perfect docility to our molding hand. The present educational conventions fade from their minds and unhampered by tradition. He worked on our goodwill upon grateful and responsive rural folk. We shall not try to make these people or any of their children into philosophers. Let me run it back. We shall not try to make these people or any of their children into philosophers or men of learning or men of science. We have not to raise up from among them authors, editors, poets, or men of letters. We shall not search for embroidered great artists, painters, musicians, nor will we cherish even the humbler ambitions to raise up among them lawyers, doctors, preachers, politicians, statesmen, of whom we now have ample supply. The task we set before ourselves is very simple as well as beautiful one. To train these people as we find them to a perfectly ideal life, just where they are, so we will organize our children into a little community and teach them to do in a perfect way the things their fathers and mothers are doing in an imperfect way, in the homes, in the shops, and then on the farm. Bars. Okay? And so this was they plan. Okay? All Huguenots. This was they plan. And he went over, get the funding for the University of Chicago from John D. Rockefeller. What up with it, Will? I see you, homie. Yeah. Okay. And so they got the University of Chicago, founded by who? The Rockefellers. That way you get your HBCUs. What up, Marlon P? Okay, let's talk about it. Carter G. Woodson, father of Black history. Where you get your Black History Month and all that other shit. In 1915, he had several friends in Chicago. He and several friends in Chicago established the Association for the Study of Negro Life and History. A similar story unfolds from the records of GEB interactions with the Association for the Study of Negro. Okay. Now, this is what Frederick, what's Colin was running. This is what Gates was running. This was the Rockefeller's operation. Okay. An association funded by Black historian Carter G. Woodson in 1915. Woodson, often referred to as the father of Negro history, which to promote the scholarly study and publications of Black history, as well as its wide dissemination in the public schools. Even in his correspondence, his powerful white philanthropist, even in his correspondence with his powerful white philanthropist, these goddamn white philanthropists are everywhere. Everywhere you got niggas at talking about they did it first, huh? They was funded by white philanthropists. Everything in Pan-African we claim to for ourselves was funded and established by white philanthropists. Now, we're going to give Woodson some credit, right? Woodson rarely diluted his exposure of Black autonomy. He made it clear that the ASNLH was to sponsor the writings of Black history by Blacks themselves, not white scholars. As he explained once in a letter to John D. Rockefeller Jr., Blacks held the advantage of being able to think Black. Because remember, the white boys, they was going to control everything. Remember, it started in the Sea Islands with the Gullah Geechee. Huh? We got Harriet Fortin Purvis. Huh? Her daddy was James Ford and ran with them white boys and them secret societies, them white boys, a Mason, taught by Anthony Benzetti, a philanthropist, Huguenot. Let's walk. Let's walk. Let's walk and talk, family. Let's walk and talk. So he told them blacks had a advantage to be able to think. Woodson initially included on his executive council many important representatives from the major white philanthropies. Okay? Woodson initially, okay, because what happened is they always fall out with that white boy. We see that through all of them, right? Dr. King got mad. He fell out with them white boys, right? And he tried to go his own way. They popped him. You know what I'm saying? Changing messages, you out here. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? Martin Luther King was Boule. Okay? The society created the advisors to the kings, and he come out here and do this work. He changed his name to Martin Luther, right? The nigga who started the Reformation movement anyway. Okay? His name was Michael King. He changed his name to Martin Luther after this, the Protestant nigga. All right? He is Boule, advisor to the king, and he was a Mason, working right under them, and he ceded land through the civil rights movement. Okay? Now we have Woodson, who then fell out with these white boys, right? Woodson initially included on his executive council many important representatives from the major, not no little niggas, but the major white philanthropies, nigga. And we got the names, right? Men such as Thomas Jesse Jones, A.G. Phelps Stokes, James Hartley Dillard, George Foster Peabody. Okay, even big George Foster Peabody, this nigga here brought it, huh? They give him the crown for this shit, nigga. And these are the motherfuckers that we're associating ourselves with, right? The father of Black history. This Pan-African shit right here, nigga. Again, we find these Pan-Africans in bed with these white boys, with these Huguenots. And the way that they view themselves, they have a different motherfucking outlook for us. What we call them, the coon niggas and shit, right? We gotta understand, ever since Reconstruction, them niggas started letting them niggas hold office and different shit, then they started separating themselves from us. Okay, now watch this shit here. Now he had all these white representatives on his shit, right? Julius Rosenwald. Yet Woodson sought primarily the financial leadership. It is revealing. It say he wanted the financial help, but he didn't want them to say to give their history of Black history. He wanted Black people to speak about our own history and write about our own history. But he wanted to take their money. How that sound, right? Do it work? Do y'all think it work like that? Hell motherfucking no, it don't work like that. That white boy is a killer. He will murder you. Facts. Play with him. He will murder your motherfucking ass, nigga. As we seen before. All right. It say he wanted the financial cooperation of these men, but not their ideological approval. And by the early 20s, he was making efforts to include more blacks in the association. Now he finally trying to get some niggas up in there. Huh? Now he finally trying to get some niggas up in there. The limits of philanthropy and Negro education. Okay? More blacks in the association. Limits of philanthropy and Negro education. Miller argued that the goal of foundations should be equipping the Negro to take over his own school system. So they saying, white boy, y'all don't need to lead it. Y'all should teach us and let us go. You should equip us and then let us go. Fund us and all this shit here, and then let us go do our own thing. That's what they asking the white boy. White boy say, nigga got life of bullshit. They pulled their support from their ass, right? Woodson's spirited independence eventually clashed with the goals of his sponsors. Listen, Woodson's spirited independence eventually clashed with the goals of his sponsors. Since 1922, the ASNLH had received grants from the Laura Spelman Rockefeller, hey, give me 2 seconds. Hold up, y'all. Hey, hold up right quick, y'all. All right, let's turn up. Let's walk this shit down. All right. So Woodson's spirited independence eventually clashed with the goals of his sponsors. Since 1922, the ASNLH had received the grants from the Laura Spelman Rockefeller Memorial. Since 1922, they've been receiving grants from Laura Spelman Rockefeller, an affiliate of the larger Rockefeller Foundation, who started putting together with the Carnegies and other bankers and philanthropists under the skies of philanthropy work, right? Same as Anthony Benzetti, right? And then they end up through these private funding, were able to take over all of the major colleges. And then they instituted a plan of these HBCUs, and they started creating these HBCUs and they systems where they wanted to come in and educate the people. Now they even went to court, nigga. They started coming in, changing the whole history up. Shit that never happened coming out of Chicago. Frederick T. Gates now. And here come Carter G. Woodson. And now he fell out with the white boys, right? Woodson's spirit of independence eventually clashed with the goals of his sponsors. Since 1922, they've been getting checks. But Rockefeller officials began to withdraw their support in the early 30s when Woodson began moving away from the scholarly production of Black history to a much larger popular movement that would use churches and public schools as conduits for the ASNLH message of race pride. Okay, now who is this larger movement he went to? We'll deal with that later, right? We got 4 more of these hoes to go. We got 4 more to go, nigga, in the motherfucking making of African American. And another fun fact, right? John D. Rockefeller, he go to the autobiography of an all-titan and philanthropist. They killing me with this philanthropy. See, because it was a group of people, the elites. And by the way, John D. Rockefeller ancestors came to this country from near Koblenz on the Rhine of 1720. The family originally named the Rockefeller, according to genealogists, had left the province of Languedoc in the south of France during the persecution of the Huguenots in 1685. The pioneer spirit and simple and unyielding religious faith were traditions in the Rockefeller family. The Huguenots were French Protestants who held the Reform or Calvinist traditions of Protestantism. Reformation is a noun, okay? The action or process of reforming an institution or practice. The action or process of reforming an institution or practice. The Reformation of the 16th century movement for the reform of abuse in the Roman Catholic Church, ending the establishment of the Reformed and Protestant churches. Huguenots were French Protestants who held to the Reform, Calvinist tradition of Protestantism. I want y'all to take a look up here. 2020 awakening. I want y'all to take a look up here. Bang the motherfucking like button, bang the cash out. Bang the like button, bang the cash out. Appreciate that love, Doug. Appreciate that love, Brave. We ain't come to play no goddamn games today. Huh? Reformation movement. These are the people who reform against government. And we'll see it all over the world. This 2020 has been a great awakening and a powerful tool used by the left, the Democrats, and with this reform movement. And so when we look and we see this whole year, 2020 has been taken off. We got the elections this year. The Democrats got a lot riding on this. They have a lot riding on this. And they're reforming against the government. And guess what? They want to use you niggas. So when we look up here, we have Black Lives Matter. Huguenot organization. Let's keep it real. And they're using y'all. And so it's everywhere. It's everywhere. Black Lives Matter. They want to reform against police. Huh? They want gun reform. Let's talk about it. Corona came. Nigga, they reformed against the government. Trump said he wanted it open. They said, nigga, we keeping it closed. Are y'all paying attention out there? Is this shit making sense to you niggas? You see, the ancestors sent me and they told me to make sure I make it clear. U.S., they told me to make sure I make it clear. Okay? They told me to make sure I make it clear. I want to show you something. Come walk with me real quick. Huh? Come walk with me real quick. All right? This is the Huguenot star. Badge. Take a look. They go to cross. 4 Florida leaves in it. Okay, they go to Florida leaves in it. They go to cross. They go to Florida leaves in it. They go to cross. Remember, they was originally flying the Florida leaves, and then they came here with the cross. Huh? There you go. The star replaced the cross. There go your Florida leaves. Huh? Joe Biden is a part of the reform movement to overthrow Trump and they white boy. It's no different than the wars that they was fighting in, World War IIs and all of that. You always had different Huguenot groups going up against each other. And other white boys that was banging against the Huguenots. All right. Man, I see that picture, man. I say that's a powerful picture right there. That's a powerful picture right there. Like a motherfucker. U.S. Vice President Joe Biden and President Barack Obama share more than just the task of governing America. Both Biden and Obama are descendants from Irish shoemakers who fled from Ireland to the U.S. in the 19th century. Obama's ancestors left in 1850 and Biden left in 1848. While Obama traces his roots to counties of Fleay and Tipperary, Biden can trace his to counties Derry, Mayo, and Louth. In fact, Biden is well known for his Irish heritage, that his secret society code name, his Secret Service code name is Celtic. Okay? Biden and Obama are descendants of Huguenots. The reform movement of 2020, the Great Awakening.
Historic moment. We have in this past year made great progress in ending the long era of conflict and Cold War. We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order, a world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations. When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
I want to appreciate y'all pulling up on me. I ain't shit without y'all. Love y'all, homie. My bad for the wait, nigga. I hope it was worth it. You can tune in, you can stay confused. It's that big boy drip, watch step in my slip. Best they ever did it and got away with it. The legendary motherfucking Big Chief Top Cat. That's my motherfucking time.
What's the crime if you don't protect it, nigga? What's the name if they don't respect it, nigga? Nah, your confetti ain't even heavy. These niggas fucking up the game. That shit is so suspicious. You ain't buy it all unless you blew a ticket. All off in the building, so ain't fuck them bitches. I'ma bow out summer just to flex for Christmas. Angel wings on the doors, I got a suplex. Money don't make you fly, that's just my perspective. Running up the skull to expose the bluff. Cause nowadays getting the win just ain't enough. Fuck the checkup last week, I got a new agenda. The last time I couldn't buy some shit, I can't remember. The last time I fucked the world, I might have busted something. I bought a crib and set that bitch on top of Mount Olympus. When you living that high up, it's hard to see the tension. I'm only selling game, I'm all out of sipping. Rip the foreign like a trophy, gotta hold it steady. Fuck your party when your confetti ain't even heavy, nigga. Got the win, I want the record, nigga. What's a crime if you don't protect it, nigga? What's the name if they don't respect it, nigga? Nah, your confetti ain't even heavy. We all up in the club like sincere on Billy. Can't even drink my liquor money on my celly. Account like you got a check, spend it when you ready. I'm giving niggas hell, pray I go to hell and nailing in they coffins the cost of them being off. Ballin' since I was across the winter circle my office. Fucking up with these wins, you fucking up with this loss. Wait up, forgot my season, I'm glad you're throwing this song. I might just go up the toss and hop the bucket. Cause when you risk game, know the grip change, nigga buttons. Chip brain in the strip game, hold the bus. Fakes calm, chop they heads off, COVID touching on a meal tick. Motherfuck you if you feel different. I caught a break, no debate, and you still fishing. The genie at the bottom, and you still wishing on my downfall, cause you petty. Petty ain't even heavy, nigga. Got the win, I want the record, nigga. What's a crime if you don't protect it, nigga? What's the name if they don't respect it, nigga? Nah, your confetti ain't even heavy.
Hey, appreciate that love, Copper Sonny. Hey, man, I love y'all, homie. Best they ever did it and got away with it. Big Chief, legendary Top Cat.